mediocre to help again. But going on like along them and get everything along. All in pain, he got out powerful. What a showman. what a show. AJ, well, also, AJ, it came in the sun now. I ate all we do. He was sitting outside. Don't know what. Just be captain. I'll be right back. Yeah, everyone will be from EW all in what a show. Hey AJ,
What's up, man?
what a show we got.
That was a pretty good show. I mean, for the most that
Yeah,
I could watch.
I mean, you want me pull up the call
I got the
of
card right
your,
here. Well, I was waiting for Steve
oh,
because he said he was going to come in.
oh,
I'll send him the
yeah,
link. Well, I mean, he should have it.
it pin in the chat
Right.
too. but I didn't see the buy-in yet of 0 hours of what they got.
Alright.
Let's see
Oh, yeah, there he is. Okay, cool.
Yo,
What's going on,
what
man?
show
not
we
much.
got.
So, what'd you think of the show?
It was good.
Yeah? Well, I mean, I know you're a big AEW mark, so of course
I'm
you
not a
thought it was
mock. I
good.
just like I just like watching wrestling.
You're a mark. We're all marks. Everybody on the call's a
I
mark.
like
We
I
all
watch
know.
when I can. I watch NWA Impact. Like there's so many.
Dude, I
wrestling-
was trying to watch that last night. It kept fucking
Yeah,
cutting in and out.
me too.
I don't know. I didn't watch a lot of it, but I'm just saying I try to watch any wrestling show, but there's so much to watch nowadays.
Yeah, it's oversaturated.
Yeah, so it's like yeah.
So, AJ, you want to go down the hall?
Yeah, I'll get the card and we'll talk about it. Okay, hold on. It's weird because this is the very first match on the card. It's MJF and Adam Cole versus the Aussie Open, Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher for the ROH World Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, that was for the
I
pre-show.
didn't see
Yeah.
that.
I'm just writing down what it has because that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Wikipedia.
Okay. Did you see that?
I didn't see anything. Did you guys see it?
Was on the, no.
Steve, did you see it?
Yeah, I saw the match.
You want to talk about it? Because we didn't see it, so maybe you could inform us.
Like I watched the ending to it though.
Well, who won, obviously?
I was shocked. MGF and Adam Cole actually ended up winning and becoming ROH Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, right, yeah. That don't make sense. I don't think.
Okay. Next match is Hook versus Jungle Jack Perry.
Yeah.
And for the FTR Championship, it's FTW Rules match.
I didn't see that
Hook won by submission.
One so
He's the new FTR champion.
They'll up the tail, the belt, and pole. We go. Jack Kelly won like 2 weeks ago on Dynamite.
I don't know. I haven't really watched AEW much this week or actually 3 weeks since I've been moving. So I mean, you guys know more than me about this subject. Anything to say about that, Steve? Go ahead, buddy.
No, not really.
No? Okay. Just wanted to make sure everybody was talked to. Everybody. So now we start the real show. You have CM Punk versus Samoa Joe for the real world's heavyweight champion.
Yeah, that was okay. I mean, CM Punk won with CC, come on, see?
It was a good match. It was decent.
You guys talk among yourselves. I gotta do something real quick.
Okay. It was a
Okay.
decent match. It wasn't that bad of a match.
It was okay. I
Yeah, it
get
was good.
it. I get it. Maybe a B minus.
Yeah, like I said, for the first match of the night, so I knew it wasn't going to be a long match anyway. So
Yeah, I I went to get some coffee, came back, it was over her. I'm like, what the fuck? It over?
yeah.
But,
So then what do we have next? Oh, trying to remember what was on the next code. I just, just
well,
I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm looking up too.
and my,
I'm looking it up. I forgot what was next.
I am the, it was a film man.
What?
It's a
What?
bad friend. And he changed it. And
Oh yeah, it was a fatal four way, right, for the women's.
no,
Right.
it was the Bowie could go against the elite.
Yeah, the next
I'm
match.
not
The
much
fa-
good.
yeah, the next match was the fatal four
I
way.
mean, no, it was
Yeah, it was. I'm on
FTR
the website.
again.
I looked at all. I'm looking at all the
Okay,
websites, and
okay,
let's see.
okay.
Wait, let's see. All right, let's see. Okay, we did the Samoa Joe. Let's see. All right. No, no, never mind. Oh, here we go. I found the white website. So, what'd you think? Did you like the results for the tag team? Did you want the Did you think it was a good outcome for the Bullet Club Gold, or did you want the
Well, I like the network. I mean, we got them fighting off over the ringside manga and Jay White went at it, and I I I get it. A but
Did you hear me?
manga
Sorry about
winner.
that. I didn't mean to leave you guys hanging.
that's
Yeah.
okay.
D-
Talking
What?
about
What?
the next match?
Oh, about the CM Punk match still?
Oh
Where?
no,
No.
Where are we at?
The
the
So I can
Bullet
get.
Club, the versus the Elite.
Bullet
Oh,
Club.
okay.
Yeah,
The 6-man tag team match.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what'd you guys think?
I got
I liked it. It was pretty
it,
good.
but
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I mean,
I
I'm not a really big Bullet Club fan or anything like that. I mean, I I picked Kenny and Adam Hangman to win, but they obviously lost.
Right, that's who I picked
yeah
too.
they
Who I had for the match.
Yeah, I didn't think AEW was going to put over New Japan. I mean, because they are New Japan wrestlers, right?
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah, you would think you'd put your own stars. Okay, so the next match
yeah.
after that is FTR versus the Young Bucks for the WWE AEW World Tag Team Champions. I'm so
Oh
used to it,
my
dude. I'm Um,
thought them out were fantastic, man.
yeah, I
I
like
got
FTR. They're good.
empty
Oh, it
on
was
you.
good.
You're in the beat better of
Yeah.
the number
Okay.
algorithm. So, what the hell
I don't know. I like
does it?
FTR. They're a good team.
They
They
are
kind of
good.
remind me of the old Horsemen from the '80s, from the old
That's what I get.
NWA,
Yeah, that's the vibe I get.
Yeah,
or Rock and Roll Express. One of the two.
Yeah,
yeah,
but that match was just good. Over like the back and forth, it
yeah,
was good. It was just good pace back and forth from both teams.
Right.
yeah.
Did anybody pay
And
for this pay per view? I'm just curious.
um,
I didn't. I'll be up in front. Fucking dude, I got too many fucking bills right now.
I did.
I
I
did because
was.
I tried to watch it, but every time I was watching it on something crashed, so I said fuck it.
Yeah, I know. I hate that.
So I was trying for, but it didn't work. So I'm like, whatever. I just guess I'll take it out of my next payday.
Right.
Oh well, I'm not
Yeah,
watching all out though. I can't do that back to back. So
Yeah, like literally,
I'm
it's
not
like
watching it.
this weekend and then next weekend.
I'm not watching
I
it at all
think.
or on a site. I'm just taking a break from that. So
Right, right.
I,
No, I totally agree.
I,
Like if they should have did like how NWA did, make it a 2-night event. That like last
yeah,
night was night one,
yeah,
and then tonight's night two.
just like
yeah,
how
but
WWE did for WrestleMania.
yeah,
Right. Well, I mean, because
yeah,
NWA they're doing it 2-night because it's NWA
Well, that
75.
makes
So
sense though. But yeah,
right, it's a 75th
yeah,
anniversary.
yeah, but they love to always and all out. Why would they do that
Right.
tonight? Is really
Yeah, I'm curious of how much NWA is
but
going to charge tonight. Well,
they
last night, if
won
you would have
by
bought both, it was like fucking 39.99 for the whole thing. So it's like I don't know if it's more than that, I won't buy it. Fuck that. Uh,
uh,
what
um,
is it? Is it under Bleacher Report
for what?
for NWA 75, or is it
I don't know. It might.
I don't
because I don't
know.
see it in there in Bleacher. Maybe it's Fight. Yeah, Fight. That's it. Fight TV.
But he,
Yeah. But anyways, off
uh,
subject. FTR wins and retains over the Young Bucks, which they should because I mean, let's be honest, FTR is the best, you know, tag team in AEW. Fair
uh,
enough to agree,
Yep.
AJ,
but
yeah, but what they going to for all out?
that's a
Yeah,
good question, dude. I don't know because I mean,
We'll probably
why would they do it?
we'll
What's
probably
that,
find
Steve?
out. I said we'll probably find out Wednesday what's gonna happen.
Right?
So
I mean, get a kind of back for all out because there'll be one, there'll be a 3-day deal for all out,
Hmm.
but
I don't know. I thought, but the FTR match I thought was really good. But I am an FTR fan,
yeah,
so I guess I'm being a
yeah,
homer for this. But the next match is the Stadium Stampede match that
oh,
had Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, the Best Friends, and Pento El Zero Elmito with Alex. They took
hey
on
Joe,
the Blackpool Combat Club. What did you guys think
hey
of this match?
Joe, I saw them main band my favorite. I
That was your
mean,
favorite?
I
What about you,
mean,
Steve?
Oh, that match was crazy. Especially, I don't know, there were skewers. They were in Moxley's head. Like, God, that was some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm like, what the fuck? Jag alltid typ in påbörjade inte varandra with Santa and mean they went all over the arena. They were fighting in the belt the and my job.
Hmm.
But I'm trying to get the proper combat for your two matches in a row. They are the blood and gut and now with Stampede now.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was pretty good. I mean,
Yeah, I
I'm not
did
used to these type of matches.
the
No, it was good, but I had
the
to say the
H
one 2020 was better.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
HA.
Like, you know what they should have did was, to be honest with you, hold on, just a second, Mikel. I'll get right. Is they should have had blood and guts there.
All right.
Yeah,
No, what were you gonna say, Mikel? I'm sorry, buddy.
they got work on the camera
Oh yeah,
though.
yeah. AEW, they need to work on their camera, but you got to think is
So much.
all those people that you see working the cameras. That's not people Tony Khan's hiring. Those are the old camera guys that worked for WCW and Turner way back in the day.
Right.
That's what I was
Oh,
hearing. Yeah,
And lots
um,
of action too. Like I understand there's so much going on. They're trying to, but it's just so much stuff going on. I can understand how to panic because there's a lot of going on in that match, though.
right. No,
Because
I know.
how
I
do you
totally
try to
agree.
focus on one thing, but then something else is happening. So I understand, though.
Right. Hell, think about it back in the day. WCW when they did World War III. Dude, you had
yeah,
60 men.
I
You
know
had 20 in each ring. And it's like, how the hell are you supposed to
that
focus
was
on
like
all
crazy.
that?
I remember that.
Yeah, it's like and it was crazy. The thing is that they would do it at the Palace over where I used to live. Yeah, so it's like, and they got these little tiny ass screens, and you're trying to figure out who's in what ring and who's been eliminated. Yeah, it, a lot of it does. I have to say, WWE does do a lot of good with their camera work.
yeah,
So the next match, this was actually a shocker to me. I know a lot of guys aren't into the women's wrestling or whatever, but like for me, I actually was shocked with this because it's the four-way women's match for the AEW Women's World Heavyweight Championship, and it was Saraya versus the champion Hiroshita
yeah,
versus Tony
yeah.
Storm versus Britt Baker. See me, I picked Britt Baker to win.
Me too.
Who'd you pick, Steve?
Me?
Yeah.
I picked Saraya because they're in London, and I kind of figured they would go with the hometown.
Yeah, that's what my girl was picking. She was like, there was only a few matches she was actually interested in watching, but yeah, she picked that. I was like, no, because I like Dr. Britt Baker, so I was just like, I'll pick her to win.
Damn,
But
coked out of his mind again.
who?
Tony, I'm watching the scrum, and he's talking now, and his eyes are just so like.
Oh, really? Mikel, Steve, did you know that me and Mikel, SummerSlam, we actually played the review live, and Mikel didn't get a copyright strike or nothing.
Oh wow!
Mikel, if you want, you can throw that up on the screen, and we all can watch it live and discuss it too.
Because if it's on YouTube, AEW won't get mad, but if it's actual pay-per-view, then they have issue. But because it's YouTube and it's free, that they don't really care because it's not
Right.
behind the paywall.
So go ahead, Mikel.
I
Throw it up on there.
did do what I did last time.
Yeah.
With
Do the same thing you did last time, dude. Yeah. Like, you know how you would put the screen up, with that, just put that up without YouTube, because I'm interested, too, because Tony Khan's coked out. I want to see this.
Yeah, his eyes are like... when is he not coked out, though?
Yeah, that's true. This is true. When is your boss not coked out? What's up, buddy? Oh, yeah, I did hear about that they said that. Yeah, I heard about that.
So you think it's like WrestleMania? AJ?
Like, how are you going to show it?
Hold on. Yeah, I'm...
Sorry about that, boys.
I'm not going to on the video, but I just...
Hold on, I'm trying to do this whole Fight TV. I'm sorry about that. Okay. My bad.
Hold on, God. My bad.
Okay. Did you get it up on there, dude?
I am right now.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is weird. Why are they going to charge me for a 2-night bundle when the one's fucking buy with a $40 credit? Or a 40 fight credit? Okay, I don't understand this. So this is what I'm looking at for NWA 75. They want either $39.99 for the bundle. What the fuck?
I'll take it. Everybody else can.
That's progress.
Yeah, I guess it is progress. Okay, here's the deal. I was just in the biggest main event in the history of professional wrestling. This is a very, very God, my neck fucking hurts. This is a very hyperbolic sport filled with hyperbolic bullshit people that will make claims like that. For crying out loud, Hulk Hogan, I think, recently said that he's in Japan and America.
We can't see it, buddy. You gotta put it back over there.
Great guy.
I know.
I can say that.
You just had it.
And it's not
You're good.
And the fact that I can't.
You're not gonna get taken down. We did it with Triple H, remember?
Feels right.
Won't get taken down because
We're not just an
behind the
alternative.
paywall.
We are a gang of fucking misfit toys, of guys that should have been never was, guys that should never position that we're in today. And yeah, sometimes we don't get along. Newsflash, I'm sure you motherfuckers got people at work you want to fucking headbutt in the mouth. But the fact of the matter is, yeah, we are misfits. But guess what? We come together and we put on the best fucking professional wrestling shows this world has ever fucking seen. And I put my fucking name on that. You want to know why I put my name on that? Because I'm ready to step the fuck up. I'm ready to be the face of this company. I'm ready to be the face of the mayhem, of the misfits. As long as this motherfucker ponies money. But that is neither here nor there. That is neither here nor there. I am so proud of not only me, because duh, that was like a fucking sick main event and I'm awesome and I won. But I am proud of every single ditzy, weirdo, fucking nut job, motherfucker in that locker room because, like I said, we might not get along. We might not be fucking picture perfect and squeaky clean, but we put on fucking shows of a lifetime here or that. So that's all I wanted to say off the rip.
Let's have questions for the champ.
Yes, sir. Bald man. No, fuck
Bald
you. I
man.
just pointed at that guy. You go second. Hand him a mic. What do you think? You run this place?
Thank you. Luke Owen, Wrestle Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great main event. Congratulations.
I
on
know
the
I
win.
was in it. Fuck.
Yeah.
Can we clap again? Like one more time? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. It was that.
He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Do you love your mother?
Fuck. That is a loaded question.
That's
I
like
think
asking a Jewish man
she
if he loves
really-
his mom.
She's kind of a bitch, and she's always constantly, no offense, mom, she's in the room. She's always constantly trying to draw attention to herself. And frankly, if there's one thing about me is I'm a super humble guy. I never try to make it all about me. So I don't know where the fuck, that is, because I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all. I mean, I think we can all agree I'm humble, right? I'm like the most humble guy in the world. So I don't understand her. The apple very far away from the tree. And I just wish she would stop making it about herself all the time, because I would never do that. By the way, world champion main event won tonight with my best friend. No big deal. Next question.
Jamal Nias here. So
Now you can
seconds
go,
out.
Jamal. Yeah.
Appreciate the time,
Yeah,
MJF.
yeah.
Since 2018, the first All-In to go into main event in selling out Wembley Stadium, arguably being the best wrestler in the world, the biggest name
It's not
in
an argument.
professional wrestling. Just if you could go back and talk to 2018 MJF, say, look, you're going to be in the main event of Wembley Stadium, AEW's first show in the UK. What would 2018 MJF say?
He'd spit on me and call me a mark, say duh. But he would walk away with a big fucking smile on his face.
Michael Martinez from Lucha Libre Line. Tony, like you just mentioned, you really
That
wanted
is
to
a
come to the
beautiful
UK.
accent. I'm sorry, I
What?
just wanted to say it. It's a beautiful
It's
accent.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Like you just mentioned, you really wanted to come to the UK a long time ago, and you just made it and look all the successful night. Congratulations about that. But as a Latino, I want to ask you if we will have a premium life event in Mexico.
Is
or
that
Puerto
Jacob
Rico.
I would just,
In
I'm
the
just going to say
future.
this right now. I want to go to Aztec Stadium. It's so fucking bad.
Yeah.
It's not up to me. It's not up to me. But you can fit a whole lot of people in Aztec Stadium. I love the Mexican people. I love the Mexican culture. And boy, oh boy, do I love Mexican food. My God. So I'm going to let him question and pray to God that I just peer pressured the fuck out of him into saying maybe or yes.
Thank you.
Tony, take it away.
I think he nailed it. I think that's a great venue. There are so many great venues, and that is a great idea. It's definitely something to consider. We've made so much progress as a company. We did our first ever international tour a few months ago of Canada. Tonight is our first ever stadium show and our first ever European show. The milestones are going to keep coming, and that's absolutely something that we would like to do under the right circumstances. Great partners in Lucha Libre, and I think that's a really exciting idea.
Also, Mexican people love the champ. Love me. Can't get enough of me. That's a fact. Just wanted to throw that out there.
What about Puerto Ricans?
Puerto Ricans love me too. Latin X, brother. You all love me. You kidding me? I don't care what color you are. Fucking yellow, white, purple, black.
Everybody
loves
loves
MJF.
People all over the world love MJF. That is absolutely the case. Now, I would like to point out while we're in England, where was the first place I ever met you?
Holy shit. It was in England.
Yeah, it was.
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
I actually scouted him out here in England. It's
Yeah.
pretty amazing. And
Yeah. It was
when I
right before All In.
Whoa,
Literally
cool.
right before All In. A show that I had no right being on because Cody did me a solid, if we're being honest. And then I got booked on shows adjacent in England that I wouldn't have gotten booked on if it wasn't for the original All In 2018. And I remember wrestling and I was killing it. And I looked up and I saw this dude. And I was like, that dude seems really excited about what I'm doing right now. You know? And then the rest is pretty much history.
Congratulations, guys. Scott Fell said Muscle and Fitness. What an incredible show. MJF.
I like
know,
the other guy's accent better, but I'm going to let it
Yeah,
slide.
he's got better accent. He's definitely got better accent. I know how hard you've worked on your physique, on your training, every aspect. Do you think that if you hadn't worked so hard, you wouldn't have been able to give the main event that you get
Yes,
tonight?
definitively yes.
And how are you feeling after the match as
My
well?
neck is killing me. I love Adam Cole to death, but oh my God, my neck hurts, dude. I said it point blank to Adam when we walked through the curtain. I said, I love you, buddy, but daddy needs a break. I'm going to go to Paris. I'm going to bang some rats. I'm going to go gorilla in Paris. I'm going to have me a baguette, some Dom Perignon, and I'm going to eat some fucking snails or whatever the fuck they do over there, and I'm just going to chill.
Escargot.
Thank you, pal. I'm still becoming cultured as a world champion. But to answer your question, as far as, physically, I take my training very seriously because I'm a professional athlete. Professional wrestlers that don't understand how important it is, you cannot outwork me. Nobody on the planet can outwork me, can outrun me. Not Bryan Danielson, not nobody in that ring. Adam Cole got tired in there wrestling daddy because everybody does. I'm a freaking machine.
Speaking of your partner, speaking of the co-holder of the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship,
Mr. Break My Neck. Hello.
What a classic match.
Hey,
Ladies
my
and
neck's
gentlemen.
pretty short too.
I know. We're both pieces of shit. We were trying to win.
Here's both halves of the biggest main event in pro wrestling history, ladies and gentlemen. MJF and Adam Cole, co-holders of the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship right here.
Whoever thought I'd be in Ring of Honor? But no, it's cool.
No, thank you. Thank
You
you.
dragged me in.
Questions?
When you guys were approached about having two matches, opening and closing the show, what goes through your mind?
I vomited in my mouth. I'll let Cole take it from here.
It's a combination of a couple of things. First of all, again, being involved in a show like All In and it being such a large event, of course you're like, this is incredible to be in the opening of the show and the closing of the show. But then naturally, as an entertainer, as a wrestler, there is that fear of like, oh, are they going to be as invested in the main event as they are in the beginning? Are they going to see too much of us? But both of us, and really everybody, was really confident that the crowd would be with us, considering how much they've been invested in me and Max. So I'm glad that we did it, but there was a little bit of reservation and fear. But now looking back on it, it's like, man, I wouldn't have changed anything.
We were stupid over. Oh, duh. What are you, fucking nuts? And also, we were dummy over. Let me tell you something. There was one take I heard online. Oh, but what if it ruins their pop later? Bro, it's better than you baby. This is the hottest thing in professional wrestling. It was louder the second time we came here. So, shut the fuck up. Don't worry about my pops, okay? I'm MJF. That's Adam Cole. You don't got to worry about us fucking getting a pop. So, all right.
To Adam, it's Steve Herman from the BBC. I spoke to you a couple of months back.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah, good, man. Especially after tonight, watching that. Just wondered that this time 12 months ago, you weren't allowed to wrestle. You weren't able to wrestle. Fast forward a year on. Has it actually sunk in yet that you've kicked off and main evented the biggest pro wrestling show in history?
Yes and no. Again, I've said this before, but the older I get, the more I try to sit back and reflect on moments like this. Because like early on in my career, I was so obsessed with the next thing and go and make the next step and progress even further, to where sometimes I wasn't able to kind of sit back and smell the roses in a lot of ways. But specifically from aging and getting older, and then on top of that, like you had mentioned, 12 months ago, there was legitimate fear I was maybe never going to get to wrestle again. So at one point, I was just excited at the idea of being able to come out and like cut a promo or do an interview or maybe have a couple of matches. So to fast forward and then be in this main event with MJF for the AEW World Championship in like this record-breaking crowd, it's unbelievable.
Biggest crowd ever.
I will never, ever forget this night. I've never taken pro wrestling for granted. It's always something I've loved and cherished. But there's this deep-rooted feeling of satisfaction that I have right now of being able to have done that. And I will never, ever forget this night. I think it's the happiest I've ever been, like, after a match.
If I can just speak as his friend, watching you come back from what you came back from, there are a lot of people that would have just quit. And I respect you immensely, not just as a friend, not just as a man, but as a professional wrestler. There are so many people that would have just been like, well, no, I'm done. And now look at you, dude.
He came back purely for the love of the game. This man was not, I think it's fair to say this wasn't money motivated or greed motivated, because if you don't mind me saying, I think it's fair to say I would have paid you every fucking dime, even if you never stepped in the ring again. And that's what I told you. I wanted you to feel no pressure to step into this ring and put your safety at stake. And I wanted you to know you were getting every fucking dime of that contract. I'm sorry. And you came back because you love pro wrestling and you wanted to be here. And that's what makes this so special. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
And that's what makes a fucking great professional wrestler.
Thanks.
All right. Who's up next?
Hi, Xenia from Xenia the Dead. Congratulations on the absolutely spectacular main event. MGF, tonight the crowd was probably the most behind you and rooting for you the most than ever in your career before. Was that a goal for you coming into Wembley? Was the positive crowd reaction something that you were looking for?
It's never been a goal for me to get people to like me in my life. I'm starting to freaking dig it, though. I mean, I'm being honest. Listen, you were in there with me. I was getting downstairs, was getting a little, they were chanting my name loud. It was awesome. And I'm falling in love with it more and more. Look, like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm a scumbag, but I'm ready to be everybody's scumbag. I'm ready to be your scumbag, and I'm digging it, man. I'm having fucking fun, and God, does it feel great to be over. I love it. I love being the most over MFer in wrestling right now. It's the best.
Guys, final question.
Rob Butler from BBC. Thanks for tonight. It was cracking. I know the fans loved it. I just want to get both of your takes on it, Max first and then Adam. Yeah. What was your preconceptions of Wembley Stadium? Because Tony's talked about his love of the place and how he always wanted to get a wrestling show here. Obviously, it's got massive history in English sport. What were your preconceptions of this stadium?
Preconceptions, definitely. I was nervous that when you people would chant because you guys don't go to the dentist, the stench would be immense. But outside of that, that was really my main. Turns out your guys, look, are your teeth like messed up 1,000%? Like I'm not gonna sit here and like lie to your face, but breath was fine. So I'm glad I didn't have to overcome that, because I don't know if I could have wrestled in the main event if I had to deal with that the entirety of the match.
I don't think I could top that answer, but I will. I'll try. I'll give you my honest answer. Yeah. So Wembley Stadium obviously is one of the most historic venues in the entire world. And never in a million years did I even think of the possibility to wrestle in Wembley. Not only wrestle in Wembley, but like a packed house at Wembley Stadium. So again, when I think of special wrestling moments that I've had, this one's got to be at the top of the list, just based on how historic the venue is, how awesome the crowd was, and just again thinking that, I can't imagine ever having a match at Wembley Stadium, and here we are. So unreal.
Before I let these guys go, just a couple thoughts. What's the biggest crowd you ever wrestled in front of in England before?
Oh my God, maybe 1,000, tops 2,000 people, tops.
Was that NXT or ROH, or where was that?
That was NXT. They had a Blackpool event that was pretty packed, but yeah, nowhere even close.
A couple thousand. The biggest place in England I'd ever seen you wrestle was York Hall in front of maybe 1,000 people. What was that place? The really small one I went. The really small place.
I wrestled Kip Sabian. I don't even remember what company that was. I don't have an effing clue.
There were maybe 100,
if that. You're a real sicko, huh, pal?
Keith's a sick man.
I don't think you're a sicko.
But
I don't think.
Stop it! Don't flatter him. I just want to take one more question just to pop myself from somebody that I go a ways back with. Is that Tits McGee from Whore Island? Okay. Hi. 2018 All In. Yeah. Okay. Well, you know the deal. Yeah. Pinning shoulders on mats, banging rats. You know how it is. Wow. I would tell him, keep on chugging, keep on believing in yourself. And I know you think that everybody out there is evil, but there's going to be a dude that you meet that proves to you that's not the case. That's what I would say. Thanks, everybody.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
That's Alan Cheapshot up there.
Where?
That's Alan Cheapshot up there,
Where's
right?
Alan?
Are you Alan Cheapshot?
Wow.
Yeah.
Everybody give it up for him. He tweets out some great shit.
He's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, too.
Oh, that was crazy. Well, I mean, it's not over yet, but that's crazy. They dropped fucking NXT.
Yeah.
And
That was crazy.
two great champions in the world of wrestling to another. Most prolific
I wonder
champion
who's
in all
up
of pro
next.
wrestling. Very fitting. The international champion here. First ever European event.
Pockets.
That makes sense.
Oh, boy. There's no belt stand. I'm going to show everybody anyway. Hello.
Jack Atkins, cultaholic.com. Orange, congratulations on a very hard-fought victory tonight. Obviously, you're known for being very cool, calm, and collected, but were you excited to be wrestling at an event as huge as this?
Yeah. I mean, that was crazy. Right? I felt it. I think we all felt it. But I've been thinking about this match for a while, obviously, because of how personal it was for me and Chuck and Trent. And I think I was really laser focused on that. And then I got beat up so much I couldn't remember anything. So there you go.
Hi guys, great show by the way, amazing show. Seamus Dunn, Balls.ie in Ireland. I just wanted to ask Orange, like, how are you feeling after such a physical match? I obviously see the bandage on your head, and I just wanted to know how you're feeling. It was very physical, and yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts on your general well-being after such a physical match.
Sure. I feel like a nightmare. Everything hurts. Sitting down hurts. Walking around hurts. But I wouldn't change a thing.
Thomas Lawson for SE Scoops. You are the most international championship defenses of any championship in AEW. You've defended against Lance Archer, Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia, Double or Nothing you retained in the Battle Royal. Who's next for you to face then?
Well, that's interesting. I mentioned to my good friend Tony, sitting over here, that I wouldn't change a thing. Tonight was incredible. I wanted this match. I wanted it to happen because of what it meant to all of us. But it felt very weird that we were doing an international show and I wasn't defending my international championship. So I said to Tony, I said, give me someone Wednesday. I don't care who it is, and I will wrestle on Wednesday just because I didn't get the opportunity to do tonight. So I don't know who's next. He does.
I will, and we'll get there. That'll be. How about I save that for last? All right, great. Well, after the last question,
great!
I'll
I
bring
can't
him
wait.
Hey, Tony, Stephanie Chase from Digital Spy. As you're saying, Orange, you didn't defend the international championship here, and I was wondering if you had any plans to make a tour more like it did. I mean, I saw Pac defend it once in Rev Pro. Is that something you'd like to get back to?
It was also kind of convenient because Pac lives here.
Yes.
So it was easier for him to defend the belt in his home country where he lived. Orange Cassidy has defended it in New Japan Pro Wrestling and, of course, defended it in Canada. I think tonight I wanted to bring Wembley Stadium, the first ever Wembley Stadium Stampede, which is a signature AEW match. Also really great timing for us because tonight was the biggest event in the history of the company. Tonight was the biggest project in the history of the company. Tonight was the biggest success in the history of the company. Everything we did here at AEW All In, this is the biggest thing we've ever done. Probably the second biggest project in the history of the company is AEW Fight Forever. And a major milestone for us this week was we had AEW Fight Forever Stadium Stampede mode go live. And it felt like a really exciting activation and a really exciting way to bring AEW to Wembley Stadium, get people excited about a new combat mode, battle royale style fighting in AEW Fight Forever. And also, it's just like the wildest, coolest thing we could do. Like, I've had one of the greatest moments of my life in the Royal Box and celebrated the English Football League playoff win over Aston Villa in 2018 in the Royal Box. And tonight I got to watch some of my favorite wrestlers in the world bleed all over the Royal Box. And that was pretty cool too. Very different than what we did up there, Carmelo. Although it did get pretty chippy up there at times, but instead of having football owners and chairmen battling it out up there, we had a stadium stampede. That was a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Drink every time he says,
pro wrestling here. And he's been defending the title very regularly. We had a huge cast of characters, a bunch of the biggest stars in AEW in one great match, and it felt like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So I was very excited, and I wouldn't have changed a thing about tonight, but I do have somebody very interesting for our great international champion to wrestle Wednesday, if you're in any condition to do so, which I'm not sure.
No, I'm not, but I'm going to do it anyway. So that's Tim speaking. Me speaking is... oh, God.
Well, it's right on time. Ladies and gentlemen, these two picked up the win last night as partners on AEW Collision on Saturday nights on TNT. Tonight on the biggest pro wrestling show of all time in front of the biggest paid attendance in the history of pro wrestling. Again, these two teamed up. But frankly, when they're not teaming up, these two have a long history, a long rivalry, as they both came out the winners tonight. And now that partnership is over, I think it's very fitting this Wednesday night at the Now Arena. Fittingly enough, the home of the original All In 5 years ago. You had a great match there that night. It's very fitting. We go back to where all of this began 5 years later with the International Championship on the line. Orange Cassidy defending the title against Penta El Zero Miedo this Wednesday night on TBS and ITV.
Hey, Orange.
Yeah. There you go.
Tonight, you wake up, you're new.
Okay.
And you know what? This Wednesday in Dynamite, I make orange juice. Alex.
Penta says this Wednesday on Dynamite, he's going to be the next international champion.
Great. All right.
But you know what?
Easy, Alex.
Orange,
Yep.
you had an opportunity to team up with Penta, and you won. But you should probably know that now Penta not only knows your strengths, also knows your weaknesses. So this title reign that you're on,
Yeah.
it's never been in more jeopardy.
Oh, great. Okay.
And this Wednesday
Yep.
in Chicago on Dynamite, you have no idea what's coming for you.
Oh, boy. All right, I guess we got to stand up now and do this thing.
Guys, let's leave.
Well, yeah.
You know what? Sit. See you next.
Oh, boy. All right, I'm going to sit back down.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for...
That's a real... Thanks, Tony. Appreciate that.
Oh, I got a shoulder on, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
It's a business. And that's going to be a great match. These two picked up an amazing win tonight. I think it was a great stadium stampede, a historic and very fitting that the most prolific champion in AEW history is the international champion, and he's defending against one of the top international stars in the world, his longtime rival, and recently also his partner.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, that's... Oh, boy.
I have another announcement. Should I talk about where this is going next week?
Yeah. But, well, I mean, can I say it?
Yeah.
Okay. I have pinned Wheeler Yuta twice. And now tonight, I have pinned Claudio Castagnoli. There's one more person that I want to pin. There's one more person that I want to beat. John Moxley, the winner of this match on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's right. If you can get through this match, you can do it. But the fact is, you have a defense on Wednesday, and I think it'd be fair to say in front of everybody that we can announce the winner of your match, Penta El Zero Miedo versus Orange Cassidy for the International Championship this Wednesday on Dynamite. The winner of the match will go on to face somebody both men have a serious score to settle. Both men have asked for the match. I think it's very fitting that the winner of the match would go on to the man that he's requested, the man that put Penta El Zero Miedo's brother in the hospital and cost him the opportunity to wrestle in front of the biggest paid wrestling crowd of all time on the biggest wrestling show of all time. The winner of Wednesday's Orange Cassidy versus Penta El Zero Miedo AEW International Championship match will face John Moxley next Sunday at All Out in Chicago at the United Center.
Yeah, just don't stop, huh?
Well, you may.
I know,
You
but
may.
this Wednesday, I don't like Penta. That's not fun for me.
It's going to be a big week, and we're guaranteed a great championship grudge match at All Out, whatever happens on Wednesday and whatever kind of condition you're in. But I do want to congratulate you and thank you because you've been a huge part of the campaign, a huge part of this success. You were one of the first people to come over to London, represent AEW, and help promote the show. And you're a great international being. You got the hell beaten out of you tonight, and tonight was a great night for you and the best friends. So thank you very much, Orange Cassidy, for everything you're doing.
You're the best, Tony. Thank you.
Thank you. You're the best. Is there anybody else? Yeah, sure.
Jamal Nyers here for Seconds Out, and I don't think Wembley has ever seen crazy violence like that ever before. It was an incredible match. And I want to know, Orange, in terms of your mindset when you're seeing spikes hanging out of John Moore, you're seeing Penta jump off a ladder, what is going through your mind? And is that the highlight of your career, getting the pinfall at Wembley in front of 80,000 people in that match?
To answer the second part of your question, I think it's got to be. Not only getting the pinfall in that match, but the people that were in that match. We're talking about Claudio Castagnoli. He's one of the best professional wrestlers ever, of all time. He's incredible. And the fact that I was able to do it, I had to cover my hand with glass. I did it. But that was definitely one of the highlights. What I am thinking about when I see people do those things in the ring, I'm thinking about, okay, when can I go in and try to pin them when no one's looking? That's what I'm thinking about. I tried it tonight, but Moxley's just, but that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about how can I stay away from that and when can I leave?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Good luck next week.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you. Thank you. See you Wednesday. What a great night. What a great day for the pro wrestling business. Great to see all of you here. And with that note, somebody it's not great to see. Hey, Don. Thank you.
Good show.
Yeah, thank you. It was very good.
Okay.
Sketch-san, domo.
Domo.
Genki desu ka?
Genki desu yo.
Good, good, very good.
Thank you.
Do itashimashita. And with that,
Lucan from Wrestle Talk. Don, you told us a few years ago that you think that Will Ospreay really needs to change up his style. Otherwise, he's not going to wrestle into his 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to impart that sort of advice as well onto Takeshita, and do you think that Will followed your advice?
I think Will did, and I think I'm not the only one who gave Will that advice. A former friend of mine mentioned just this past week that he had told him that too. I mean, I don't think it's. I may have multiple degrees, but I don't think I need any of them to have told Will that. And what people forget about Takeshita is that Takeshita was an Olympic-level decathlete in Japan who chose professional wrestling. Takeshita, I think, is a guy who, I was just talking to Chris Hero in the back, and he said he first met Takeshita at a wrestling show when Takeshita was 10, and he was doing work at one of the wrestling shows in Osaka. So this is a kid who has been in the business like in some form or fashion, 18 years. So I don't think it's a conversation we need to have. My conversation with Takeshita is more about being more vicious and being more brutal. He is, in my opinion, perhaps the best athlete in all of wrestling, the best pure athlete, 6'3", 240. He's got Lou Thez size, again, Olympic level decathlete. There's not many guys 6'3" and 240 who move like Takeshita. We don't need to, we have that base covered. What we need is more aggression. And I think you've started to see that. And I think what you saw tonight is this is not just the new Mega, this might be the new god of pro wrestling.
Yeah, Jamal Nair is here for Seconds Out. This is a question directed to all three of you. So the match that makes sense next is Takeshita versus Kenny Omega. Maybe next week. Everyone wants to see that. And then Don and Takeshita, just in terms of that singles match against Omega, how does that one go? How long does that match last?
We've been clear. Takeshita has wanted to test himself against his former mentor, Kenny Omega, for years, I think. In my opinion, Kenny has not won a big singles match since he and I had our split. I think he's 0-6. So that continued tonight. Takeshita pinned him. And we're tired of waiting, frankly. We want to test Kenny Omega in a singles match, and I would love it. One of my favorite cities, Chicago, Illinois, if we can book that match, Takeshita and Kenny Omega one-on-one, Mr. Khan, I think that would be a great match, to your point, that people would like to see. We're not satisfied with beating Kenny Omega in a six-man. It was great. But Takeshita wants to prove he can do it in a singles. And I would love to do it at Chicago if Mr. Khan is willing to book that.
Hi, I am willing to book it. And I think it would be a great match. And based on what I saw here, match, I thought it was very fitting that the original All In featured the Golden Elite in a great six-man match. Tonight, the Golden Elite were also in a great trios match. The result was different tonight, and Takeshita-san was incredibly impressive. We have AEW All Out coming up 1 week from tonight in Chicago, Illinois, next Sunday. I think that would be a tremendous match. Takeshita versus Omega, one-on-one. You have a deal.
Thank you very much.
One thing to say. I'll show you in Chicago. I'm gonna beat Kenny Omega again.
Here's the thing, and this is the difference. People say, what's the difference now that Kenny Omega is on his own? The reality is that I named Kenny the god of pro wrestling, but the real hand of God in this relationship was not Kenny, it was me. Kenny is an uber talented, incredible natural athlete. However, in my opinion, and I was a crutch for him for a long time, and as soon as we had a couple of disagreements, he fell back on his codependencies, whether it be with the Bucks or with Kota Ibushi or with Hangman Page. You can have great athletes, but when they are mentally weak, they are not successful. And I have no tolerance for weakness, and I have no tolerance for stupidity. And so our goal here is to prove to the world that Kenny Omega is done. Kenny Omega is done. Takeshita is going to be the new ace, if you want to call it that, of All Elite Wrestling. And we are going to prove it in Chicago, and I am very excited about it. And all of you people, all of you Kenny Omega apologists, Alvarez, Meltzer, you're all going to eat it. You're all going to eat it. And I want to hear the diatribes on all your little shows and in your little newsletters about Don Callis was right. Figure out how to do those words, because you're going to be typing them after Chicago. Any other silly questions?
Do one more. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we'll do one.
Hello, Marcus Grunnemann from Headlock in Germany. We saw Will Ospreay beat Chris Jericho today. What's your future affiliation? Is he part of the family you were talking about building? What about his stablemates in the United Empire? What can you tell us about that?
I'm not building a stable, I'm building a family. Stables fail. Families are when you can choose your family. They say you can't choose your family, but I'm choosing mine. I'm choosing people in my family who aren't mentally weak. Will Ospreay is the most sought after guy, as he has said many times, in pro wrestling. People are very excited about Will, and with great reason. People say, what did you do to get Will Ospreay to be with you? What did you give him? You know what I gave him? I didn't give him money. I didn't give him promises. I didn't have to go Don King, Mike Tyson on him. You know what I gave him? I gave him Chris Jericho's head on a platter in front of all of his friends and family in Wembley. And it worked out great because we got to see, as great as Chris Jericho is, we got to see he's exactly what I have always said he is. And I've been his best friend for 34 years until very recently. He is a narcissistic, sociopathic psychopath. All about him. And tonight, thank God, it was all about Will Ospreay. And you're going to see more of that. Will Ospreay's talent, my 170 IQ, sky's the limit.
Thank you. I don't want to be a liar here. So I did point to this gentleman and say you could ask one. We made eye contact.
You're a gentleman. Seamus Dunn Balls. I just want to talk about the entrance, to catch this entrance. And I know there's art by the amazing wrestling artist Melanie Coleman that's on the screens. I just want you to talk about your thoughts of that being your entrance, and is it a way of intimidating, and having that art of Don and Takeshita is just a like inspiration to you as you walk to the ring?
I'm not in the business of entertaining people or popping people. I don't care about any of that. I am in the business of psychologically and mentally dominating people. So what that means is I don't need to have music to be happy because I don't care. The fans are great, but to me, they are just things like a bottle cap or an insect. So for me, I don't want music. I don't want you to be happy. And that line wasn't meant to make any of you smile. That's how I really feel. I have the best job in the world because I get to be Don Callis. This is the Don Callis you see back in Winnipeg. This is the Don Callis you see if you run into me in an airport. So I don't need music, don't want music. I want to come out. People can do whatever I want. They want. I hear the boo. I could care less.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Thank you, Takeshita-san. Domo arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigato.
Do itashimasu.
Thank you for the match.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Great job.
Good luck. You asked for it. And we have another guest and somebody who has had a big evening, somebody who's had a very special weekend, a big week here in her home country. Ladies and gentlemen, the new AEW Women's World Champion, Norwich's own Saraya.
Thank you. Look at me, you guys. Didn't think I was going to win this, did you? Hello. Everyone's very quiet in here. Why is this so awkward? Come on, England. You're better than this. All right. What do we have? Do we have some questions around here for your new champ?
Hello, champ. It's Scott Felstead, Muslim Fitness. Great to see you back on top where you belong.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about your story and just what an amazing speed for you, and also all the kind of physical rehabilitation that you'll have had to have gone through and getting back in the ring?
Yeah.
Just give us a flavor for how you're feeling.
Yeah. I'm not just going to say it just because you're sitting right beside me, but you have no idea how much it's helped me in my comeback and just believing in me and being like, listen, we're going to go look at your neck and we're going to see it. And if it's 100%, then I'm backing you 100%, you know, and it was just wonderful. And, you know, he didn't give me this straight away, you know, and I'm thankful for that because we got to tell stories and have fun and do outcasts. And it's the most fun I ever had. Like me, Tony and Ruby together. We have a great time and we're enjoying it every single week. And we love everything that he's been doing for us. And it's just absolutely incredible. And I'm appreciative, you know, that I got this moment here in the UK. And it's awesome having my whole family here. Like, you know, got Queen and everything. I was like, bloody hell. But yeah, it was just really, really cool. And just the process of it, I never thought I was ever going to wrestle again. That was it. They said, you will never wrestle again. WWE cut ties with any kind of doctors and was like, we're not going to check you anymore. So I was in limbo for 5 years. And I never kind of hit rock bottom with it, with no pun intended for the wrestling fans in here, but I never like hit rock bottom with it. I kept in a very positive mindset. And so you know, when I got the call from Tony, he was just like, let's fucking go. Let's try this. Let's go do, you know, he was like, he just seemed so positive and awesome. And I was like, man, I want to kick some ass, you know? And so, yeah, I started training more, getting in the gym. I was working out every single day. I started watching AEW religiously every single, this is so cool. And I already wanted to be a part of it so bad ever since it started anyway. But yeah, it's just been a crazy journey. I never thought I'd be here. I never thought I would be in Wembley Stadium in the biggest crowd in wrestling history. I mean, it's just a dream come true. And I'm so thankful. And thank you, Tony. So
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah,
You earned it,
thank
champ.
you. Thank you.
It's 1 year in the making
Thank
since you came.
And also, I want to get back to America. I'm going to start talking some crap. So, not on you, on the people. Yeah.
Hi, Raya, over here. Let's get a bit of North love.
Hi,
You're all right. You're
Rob.
all right.
How
Good to
are
see you.
you?
Yeah, well, I've got to ask about your family because that
Oh,
was an
yeah.
incredible moment. Everyone watching, and we've had loads of texts into the BBC and what have you saying how much everyone was loving it. How good was that to have mum, dad, cousins, nephews, brothers?
Well, they were never given the opportunity in the past to be showcased ever. Like they were never acknowledged, and I wasn't allowed to acknowledge them until the movie came out, and then it was kind of I was allowed to. But the thing is that Tony again didn't even question it. He was just like, yeah, we can have your family, and they appreciated it so much. And my dad was so emotional. My dad's not a crier; he's a very rough around the edges kind of guy, you know, missing teeth because of all the fighting back in the day, you know how he is. But he was crying his eyes out in the ring, and it was just such a special moment to be around my family. And yeah, they loved every single second of it. My nephew's in here still, I think. Is he not? Well, he wasn't here. Yeah. Ricky Knight Jr. I don't know if you guys know him or not, but he's an incredible wrestler. He just wrestled Zack Sabre Jr. He's going to be the next big thing for sure. Hello.
Hi guys. Luca
Hi.
from Cultura Pop Italy, from Italy. Thank you
Hi,
very much for
Italy.
your time.
Yeah.
My question is for Tony and for Saraya. Mercedes Monet was shown several times during the pay-per-view. Is this a tease maybe for a match in the future? I know you had a lot of history in WWE.
If I may, she's not cleared Mercedes Monet. So I think it was great to have her here. She competed for New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I thought it would be have one of the top international stars in all of pro wrestling here. And the last time we saw Mercedes Monet compete, she was actually competing against her own Willow Nightingale. And there's a lot of exciting international pro wrestling. I thought it would be great to have her here to see all the matches, including the AEW Women's World Championship. But she's not cleared since her injuries. I just thought it would be good to have her take in the show. Definitely a lot of potential things could happen there. And I know New Japan Pro Wrestling's had great experiences working with her. And I thought it would be great, given that she's not cleared, but wanted to take in the biggest paid pro wrestling crowd of all time and see what AEW is all about. I thought it would be good for her to be here. But obviously she's not wrestling or cleared or doing anything anytime soon. But great to have the top international stars at a top international show. And of course, for the world champion here, there's all kinds of people who want to take a shot at you.
That's right. Bring it on. I saw her and I was like, okay, so she's going to be watching. Great. And we already have history, right? So I wanted her, honestly, because I know if she ever was to ever come in, she's going to try and get this, right? So I say absolutely bring it on. And Mercedes, if you're watching this, we can't wait for you to finally join us, if you will. Right? Yeah.
Big challenge.
Yeah.
Hi, Jack Atkins, cultaholic.com. We obviously saw you and Tony Storm clash in the match tonight.
I'm very disappointed in her. Yes.
And Ruby got involved as well. Just wondering, what is the immediate state of the Outcasts?
Right now, I think once I get back, we have to go straight to Chicago for Dynamite. But right now, she has upset me very much. And if she wants to get back in my good book, she literally has to apologize. She has to grovel at my feet. She has to kiss the ground that I walk on because she just tried to break my neck in the ring. So, next question.
Jamal Nyers here for Seconds Out. How did it feel to be walking down that ramp, seeing all the phones, seeing everyone cheering your name, and then to lift the gold at the end of the match? All the emotions coming out, the whole journey that's led you to that moment. What was that like?
Well, for some reason, I was like, they're going to boo me, right? And it's only because I've been, a bit naughty back in America with my character, with the outcasts and stuff, So I was like, maybe they'll boo me and I can lean into it. But I got a good reaction. So I'm like, well, I can't really do too much, bad stuff. But it was really amazing. you don't understand this. You're walking down the ramp and just seeing a sea of people, and it's just like it never ends either. You're like, oh my gosh. And the fact that it's Wembley Stadium again in my home country, it's really cool to see. But being in Wembley and everyone just assuming we weren't going to do even quarter of it, and then within a couple of days there was over 70,000. It just felt so good. And the fact that we, you know, got over 80, 81, 85
paid. 81 paid. There were like 90,000 people approximately in the building. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's absolutely bananas. So just like actually trying to take it in, and it's really difficult to take it in as well. You're just like, oh my gosh, it's the most amazing experience of my life, and it's definitely right there in the top of my favorite moments and favorite champion. 100%. I'm so excited.
It's amazing, and I have to say, it was an amazing night. I did personally. Knowing that you were going to be coming out to Queen, We Will Rock You, and knowing that you were coming out with your entire family, I was pretty confident that you were not going to get booed tonight.
Yeah. I was like, I hope not. Jeez. Coming out to that, I feel like British people can't be disappointed if they hear Queen in the crowd. That's for sure.
That was a good one for sure. It was a great idea. It was a great idea. It was her idea.
Yeah, I was like, can I get it? He's like, let's do it.
It was great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Alman from Headlock in Germany. You've been talking about Rev Pro quite a bit. Ricky Knight Jr. Pac defended his title there. We saw Chris Jericho yesterday attack Will Ospreay at the show. So they have a working relationship with New Japan, as we know. Is there any kind of official working relationship between AEW and Rev Pro? And how about the other major promotions in the UK and like Progress or WXW in Germany?
I really like Andy a lot, and I've attended Rev Pro and I've worked with them, and I've tried to do clips in the shows. So I would say, yeah, we absolutely have a working relationship with Andy and Rev Pro. You know, we're both great partners to New Japan Pro Wrestling, I believe. I've attended a lot of Rev Pro even before there was an AEW. I consider Andy a friend, and I like to help out my friends in the wrestling business. And that means if somebody can make an appearance there and it's not going to affect our schedule or change anything detrimental for AEW, I love working with Rev Pro. And obviously for Saraya to have family there, for us to have so many people that are a part of AEW or people to have a pipeline, great things. So I support Andy, and I've even, when I've had a chance, featured Rev Pro clips in AEW television just to show their company off and show some of our stars wrestling for them.
That's awesome. Yeah. I would love to do stuff with Rev Pro, of course. I saw Sky Blue actually. Got to be a part of the show yesterday, and she got a great reaction. People absolutely adore her. So I was a little jealous, honestly. I was like, I want to do Rev Pro too, but we were here. Unfortunately, I had to do some Wembley stuff, you know.
It worked out. It worked out pretty well.
Yeah,
but that's awesome. Definitely something to keep an eye on. It's a relationship with them. It's a good company. I was elected weekend as part of this huge weekend, the biggest weekend ever in wrestling, and I was glad to see other people getting the benefit of that. That's nice. And Rev Pro is a great company. Absolutely.
Congratulations for both. I'm Ricardo Channon from Chile, South America. Saraya, you remember that you wrestled in Chile a few years ago?
How long ago? I have terrible memory. I promise.
I think 7 years ago.
Oh my gosh, that was a while back. That's when I was a little bit of a loose cannon.
South
America. I'm not anymore, Tony. I promise.
Great.
Yeah, but yeah, no. We wrestle. I've wrestled. I've been very fortunate enough to wrestle in a lot of places. So I'm sure Chile was absolutely amazing too.
Yes, we have a lot of fans.
We have to come back there.
Huh?
We have to come back there.
Yeah, Chile.
Right?
Yes,
We have to.
That's my question for Tony. And when we can say South America is already your expansion is going to be in South America that have a lot of fans of wrestling?
That's great. Very good question. That's another great market I'd love to visit. You know, we're a company. It's incredible to say AEW Dynamite has not even been on the air for 4 years yet. The 4-year anniversary is coming up, and it's over a month away. And it's coming up in October, 4 years of Dynamite. The company itself is not even 5 years old. And we've already hit some of the all-time highs. I think today is the highest high in all of pro wrestling. And also it's a really important milestone. In addition to being the record paid attendance in the history of the pro wrestling business, this is our first show ever in Europe. And it was a huge step for us. And we're going to continue building. Last year, we did 1 week of shows in Canada. We did 2 shows in Toronto, and we expanded it this year, took another step forward. This year we did a tour, and I plan to go back again soon, but we did a run in Canada of 8 shows across 6 cities. And I thought that was from what we did last year, and we'll keep building and building. So that was our first international tour. Today was our first international stadium event, our first show in Europe, and talk about a great way to debut in not just a new market, but one of the most important markets. And I think that's a great market, Chile. That'd be a great place to go. I've been asked when AEW is going to visit other potential Latin American countries and markets, such as Mexico and Puerto Rico. I think Chile would be a great market. We have great stars, and clearly you've been there before and made a huge impression.
Apparently. Yeah.
Made a great
That's
impression
right.
there.
Yeah.
It's great.
I remember.
Hi there, this is Thomas Lowson for SE Scoops. First of all, Saraya, congratulations on your title win, AEW
Yeah,
Women's
let's go,
World
lads.
Champion.
Yeah.
Your story is so well documented. Your highs, your lows. Obviously, you got started when you were 13, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of advice, as the AEW Women's World Champion, would you give to the 13-year-old who was wrestling a Pink Power Ranger in her first match? And
Yeah.
what advice do you think that 13-year-old could give the reigning AEW Women's World Champion?
Yeah, so I would say you have to have patience in this business because not everything's going to happen for you overnight. But I will say what The Rock told me, which I love his advice that he gave me, and it was to stay humble and stay hungry. You want to be able to stay humble enough for people to want to continue to work with you and, you know, get good jobs and have like end up with a great boss, you know, but also stay hungry. You don't want to ever get complacent. And that's something that I never stopped doing. So even when wrestling career completely, I never in my head thought it was never going to happen again. I constantly was striving to try and get back in the ring, whether it was going to take 5 years, which was great, or 10 or 20 or however many years was. You see me 50 years old and get back in the ring. I was always trying to like get back in there. So yeah, I would say patient, stay humble, hungry, and save your money. It's important. Save your money.
Hi, Saraya, Mark O'Brien from bodyslam.net.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned your cousin Ricky yesterday in 2 matches he had in Progress and Rev Pro.
Yeah.
You've also mentioned your brother Zach and
Yeah.
the year he's had. Is
Yeah.
there any update on him possibly moving stateside or appearing in AEW programming of the coming year?
Well, I think it was something we've definitely talked about that potentially. And I think Saraya's family, I'd love to have them involved. They were obviously involved in the show tonight, and she's part of a great wrestling family. It was great to get her family involved in the show. So whether it's here in England or America or anywhere, your family's always welcome. And that's it's a good thought.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I just noticed that, you know, Zach's going to be coming over in a couple of months. So hopefully we can bring him to a couple of shows and see where it goes. Who knows? But we're happy for him.
I think it's a very great idea.
Yeah. Thank you. Go on, John.
Congratulations on your win. Seamus Dunn, Balls IE in Ireland. My question is short. Are we getting a sequel with Fighting With My Family? We need a sequel now.
Yeah. So there could be something in the future. We'll see. But I will say right now that I am writing a book and this button on my story. And Tony had no idea about this, but I walked up to him in, you know, the go position. And I was just like, you have no idea what you just done for me, because I've been through a lot, obviously, and it's been, again, very well documented, and it's been highs and lows and everything like that. But I needed something really special, and I wasn't going to let the book go out until something really special happened. And so he just completed my book for me, and it was just
You
really
completed your book. You did.
I did,
You
but
did the work. You made this happen. You're the
I
one who did
appreciate
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But yes.
Steve Herbert from the BBC. I have to admit, I was going to ask that exact same question
Oh,
about
yeah?
a sequel, so it's a great idea, and the book as well. To Tony, I just wondered, you've obviously announced All In for next year already. Will you be scheduling All Out so close to that next year? And how much of a booking headache has it been for you doing both of these shows?
I mean, I love wrestling. I think it's a very interesting situation. By the way, I want to make sure you get a good, since he took your question for Saraya, I'll answer your question, plus we'll get a good Saraya if that's okay.
Yeah, think about it.
Great. So somebody out there can think of a really good Saraya question on the way out. This is ridiculous. So much of the case study or why I try to do things is like avoiding some of the other things I've seen other wrestling companies do that, you know, probably didn't help them. I try to look at things that have helped wrestling companies. Well, we should do that, and things that haven't. And while we haven't always done things perfectly, I do think I've tried to study history and learn from it. And when you a great tradition, when you build customer loyalty and when you put on a great event like this, I had really strong belief that this would be a great show tonight. I think it's been the best show we've ever done. I think it was the greatest night in the history of the company. It was not only the most successful business night in AEW by far, and I think the most successful business night anyone's ever had in pro wrestling industry. I think it was our best show. And I feel really strong that we should come back and reward the market with loyalty instead of like doing shows. Some of our shows do move around, and obviously we hit different markets, but I've tried to build traditions. And we have something really special that we did tonight. And that's why the same bank holiday weekend, I want people to know bank holiday weekend, Sunday, Wembley, that's a tradition. In America, a 3-day weekend, Labor Day weekend, they have the bank holiday in America next weekend. It's a very unique opportunity as a live event. I don't want to give up that real estate. Now that we built this here, I don't want to give it up and I want to keep it going. And I believe we can do it again. And we've had a great tradition of live events in Chicago over Labor Day weekend, and I want to keep that going forever too. And they're both really important dates on the calendar. It creates a unique opportunity to capture buzz around AEW. Well, this is the first time we've done it, but it is something I plan to do in the future. So next year, All In will be on the bank holiday weekend, August 25th, 2024. And yes, I am planning to run in Chicago Labor Day weekend. Next year, I don't have all the specifics yet, but I do want to stay around Chicago for Labor Day. And now I want to come here for the bank holiday because I think these are great traditions. And just like All In can be something special we can do right here. Hopefully it'll stay at Wembley Stadium for a very long time because I love it here. And it's one of my favorite places in the world. I still can't believe we got to do that in the Royal Box, Carmelo. That was crazy. You know, we've done All Out at the Now Arena where we're going to have Dynamite this week, the home of the original All In. And this year we'll have All Out at the United Center, which has been a great venue for us since we started doing it. I'm very excited about going there. And we're going to have one of our biggest gate company next week. Obviously, tonight has been by far the biggest gate in the history of the company, but there's nothing wrong with $1 million live house in pro wrestling. And that's what we're looking at next week. So I want to keep that going because that's a pretty special thing too. We're going to have over 10,000 people and at $1 million gate next week too. So that's great. And I think we have a great tradition as a live event. I didn't sell a single pay-per-view next week as a live event. We'll make money on week's event. And I expect we're going to sell a lot of pay-per-views with great matches like Omega versus Takeshita that I've just confirmed, and the winner of Wednesday's Penta El Zero Miedo versus Orange Cassidy match challenging John Moxley to defend the AEW International Championship. I think either one of those is a great match. They both have a very legitimate reason to be pissed off and want to fight Mox. And I think either one would be a great match. They're two of the greatest champions in AEW history. Orange Cassidy as the AEW Atlantic champion who leveled up to become the international champion. And Penta El Zero Miedo to hold the World Tag Team Championship, to hold the World Trios Championship. Could this Wednesday become the first person to achieve that milestone of holding those and the international championship? As you know, we've had Orange Cassidy, who's been the international champion. We've had Pac, who's been the double champ with the international title and the trios title. But Penta El Zero Miedo has a chance to achieve something very special this week. And I know he wants a piece of Mox in a major way, as does Orange. I think it's going to be a great show. And we've announced other big matches on the card I'm really looking forward to, including Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs, Darby Allin taking on the TNT champion Luchasaurus, contrary to popular opinion. Christian Cage is not actually the TNT champion. So it's going to be a great event. I'm very excited about All Out, but I'm also very excited about what we built here with All In. And I think, yeah, my plan is to keep doing both events for the long term, keep what we have here in it. We built something very special. I think we've had fans from all over Europe. We've had fans from over 70 countries at today's show. I don't know if any of you knew that, but over 70 countries, and people from all over the world have come to the show, and here in England from all over England, including a lot of people from Norwich here to support Saraya, and people from all over. So I think it's a really cool thing we built here, but I do want to keep this, and I want to keep what we've done in Chicago. And hopefully that gave somebody time to think of a really good final question for Saraya.
Mantel Wrestle Purist, question for Saraya. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you've only had 4 singles matches since coming into AEW. So is that something that you'd be looking to do more of now that you've got the World Championship? And how has it been getting the rust off since coming back?
Yeah, so people said to me, oh, Saraya, it's like riding a bike. It's not. It's absolutely not. When I came back the first time, where it was only a year and a half, it felt like it was like riding a bike. But it was 5 long years of not doing anything in the wrestling industry at all. 5 long years. I was extremely rusty, and the girls were very patient with me. The company was very patient with me. And, you know, I was very emotional the first couple of weeks, and I just felt like I wasn't doing anything right. And I couldn't look at social media because they were cruel, you know, because social media could be very cruel. But then I realized social media is always cruel. But yeah, it's just been, I've like lost my train of thought already. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's been a wild ride, and I can't remember where I was going with it because I'm like ADHD, so I'm like, but what was the question again? A singles match. There we go. Yes, I would like to do more singles matches. Absolutely, I'm the champ now. Of course, I kind of have to, but I would love to. And the reason why, you know, it didn't really make sense for me to be doing singles at one point in time, because you had Ruby doing the Owen Hart Trophy, you know, and then you had Tony being the champ. She was doing her singles matches, and I kind of liked being the barricade princess. I thought it suited me very well. Being the screaming banshee on the side of the ring, I enjoyed that. But now he's like, no, now you have to work, and I'm like, okay.
Well,
I guess I have to.
I also wanted to, you know, you came off a very long-term injury, and I think it makes sense sometimes in tag trio situations where, you know, let's see how this goes. And your partners, if you have a problem, your partners can pick up and help you make it through. And now we've seen, I think you're back.
I'm
100%.
100%. I feel 100% ready to go. My confidence is fully back with my attitude, my character. And again, I'm having so much fun with it that, I mean, I feel like I can go in there and do whatever. Sometimes it's the goals that have to hold me back because I want to do 100 million things. And they're just like, we'll take it easy, you know, and I'm ready. I'm 100% ready. The doctor said I was 100%. My neck is at 100%. I asked them when I went there for my neck, is there any way that I could be paralyzed in any way, shape, or form? And he said, no, your neck is perfectly fine. And if you have aches and pains, that's when you're a wrestler. But I can take a step aside, and AEW is really great with their talent. If they are sore or banged up, they're like, take it off and, you know, bring it back next week or something. It's really cool to have the support of AEW and Tony, you know, and the support of the women in the locker room, because every single one of them are so amazing. And that's one of the best locker rooms I've ever been in my life. And every time I'm there every week, it's always very, very supportive, and everyone's genuinely happy for each other for whatever we do. We're very happy for each other. I'm ready. Long-winded, but I'm ready for more singles matches.
That's great. Well, I want to congratulate you again, and I want to thank you again, because this was a really special night, and a huge part of what made it such a special night is your performance, how hard you fought, that you had your family here, that you had the brilliant idea to ask me to ask for We Will Rock You, and everything you did to make this possible. Thank you, Saraya, for tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, Saraya. Thank you guys as well for coming along. I'm probably going to be more mean to you once I get back to America, though. I'm just in my good side because I'm in England right now. But appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Hey. Hi, Tony, Luke from WrestleTalk. Hey. You said on the media call earlier in the week that some plans were going to have to change for Stadium Stampede due to circumstances out of your control. Because you had, so what were your plans that you had when it was going to be 6-on-6?
Well, I would have loved to have had Ray Phoenix involved in the match, and that wasn't possible. And I had different plans for the match without getting it exactly. The changes we made worked perfectly, and I think it was a great night. And given the circumstances, it was the perfect audible, but I did have to make some adjustments based on some of the circumstances this week. And I actually never said it was the Stadium Stampede that would be changing. I said there would be changes on the card, and there were, both the Stadium Stampede and the Coffin match, for different reasons, but good reasons in both cases. So I did end up making a couple changes this week, and I thought the card came out strong. It was the best card, in my personal opinion, that we'd ever put together, and it was our most successful show. But it was a challenging week, and we did have to make some changes to the plans. But Ray Phoenix was involved in our plans, and at one point, I also really was hoping to have Pac involved. And I think that would have made a lot of sense with a lot of the things we filmed. And going back to Death Before Dishonor, it was an amazing show. I would have loved to have had Pac as a part of it. I would have loved to have had Jamie Hayter as a part of it, two of the top homegrown British stars in AEW, maybe the top homegrown British male star and the top homegrown female British star. Now, it's maybe not fair to say Pac homegrown because he wrestled on TV. So before I get out of the gate, I guess I think about it. He has been with us since day one. He was at the very first thing we ever did. He's part of the original AEW, but to be fair, Pac had established himself on a worldwide level and was probably pretty well known. And so I'd understand if you didn't consider him a homegrown star, but he's definitely a day one star. And two people that have been with us since 2019 are the company that were both great British stars that I was hoping to have involved tonight, and both great former champions in AEW, to have, you know, the former All Atlantic champion and trios champion Pac and the former women's world champion Jamie Hayter. They were a big part of my original plans for the show. Absolutely. Also, Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I would love to have had him, but I think the show was so amazing. And that's what's great about having a great team, is even when there's injuries in sports, people step up. And we saw that, whether it was changing the Stadium Stampede or Christian Cage stepping in to the Great Coffin match, or a lot of the other changes we made along the way. It worked out, and it was like the perfect storm of great pro wrestling, and it felt like a perfect night. And then we have something to look forward to as well, because we're coming back here next year. And I don't know what's to come in the next year, but I'm very optimistic that hopefully all from Bryan Danielson and Pac and Jamie Hayter would all be here next year, in addition to so many of the great stars you saw. So that's something cool we have to look forward to August 25th, 2024. And there were other changes that happened along the way too, but the bulk of tonight's show, and really the thread of tonight's show and the story, was stuff we wanted to do for a long time. So I think the spirit of tonight's show was perfect, but definitely some changes throughout the week. Like I said, to this Stadium Stampede this week, obviously on Wednesday in particular, but also I think it made for a great show on Wednesday. I really felt very strong about Wednesday's show. It's hard to do a really good go-home show, to cover that many bases on a show like this. And some things we did cover on Collision. In some ways, I think having Collision made it possible to do more great go-home storytelling, because there were some great segments, I thought, across both shows. Instead of having to pack everything into Dynamite and Rampage, really all three things had great wrestling. And we've had a lot of success. You know, the launch of Collision, the ratings strong. It's helped us really build our international numbers, and Rampage doing some really good numbers. I haven't said these numbers out loud anywhere, but this month Rampage is up 97% in the UK year over year on ITV. On ITV1, it is up 97% year over year. That is tremendous. I'll have more numbers to come out later this week, but we're having an amazing year on ITV. This week's Rampage, this past week's, was actually the highest rated episode of the entire year on ITV. Our reach is up huge. So I understand Williams and the great people at ITV will have more viewership numbers that I'll be able to pass on to the media about what we've done here to grow the brand. But that's part of why I feel very comfortable saying that we've come here. It's the first time I've said it today, but I have been saying it a lot in the media, that I feel that AEW is the number one company in the UK. Now we've done the number one paid attendance in the history of pro wrestling. It was right here in the UK, and we're doing great numbers on ITV thanks to the great fans. And I'm very excited to talk about this show, also available down the line to watch on ITV4, which I think is pretty cool. Thank you for asking.
Marcus Grunemann with Headlock in Germany. When you initially announced All In, you talked about it would be in conjunction with a 100-year celebration of Warner Brothers. And a lot of people speculated that it either would be on Max and streaming, maybe be a free television special. Now you chose to go the pay-per-view route. And as a follow-up question, both WWE and UFC basically sold their pay-per-view businesses to major media companies. So would that be something that you'd be interested in also doing in the future? And you talked about possibly increasing the number of pay-per-views as well. So maybe you can give us an an update on that?
What a great question. Thank you. You've set me up for so many great things. Now, now being an international fan, and I see Dave asking for the microphone. Dave would be probably as one of the leading experts on pro wrestling business and on sports business, all this area of expertise, Dave, where you could dwarf what I know about it. As I understand it, the UFC and WWE pay-per-view models, even though they both work with a major media provider, those are very different models as far as how the pay-per-views are distributed, right?
Yeah. The UFC, it's still on pay-per-view, but ESPN purchased the business and still sells it as a pay-per-view, and actually a high-price pay-per-view. It's like $80 plus,
right?
Plus a subscription. And then WWE is not like a added pay-per-view; it's just on Peacock, and you get it with the Peacock subscription. But both companies got a lot of money. I think one was 175 and the other was 200 million. So yeah, if you get that deal, Tony, just get that deal.
Thanks, Dave. Well, I would love to put something together. It's a great question. I think that establishes there are multiple different models for a company to deliver their pay-per-view events or their premium live events or whatever you want to call them through a streaming network. We've been talking a lot and having great conversations with the top executives at Warner Brothers Discovery, and there's been a lot of interest since the merger in AEW from the very beginning. And when Discovery joined Warner Brothers, when the top Discovery executives came in as our new bosses, they've paid more attention to AEW than we have really since the very first year. It's really cool for us. And I've had a lot of great conversations with the people at Max about what we can do in the future, not only for the home of these top AEW events, shows like All In, the biggest night in the history of pro wrestling, and like our shows we've been doing for years, like All Out and Double or Nothing, Full Gear, Revolution, and now Forbidden Door. Those are our top events. We're going to continue with those events, and you've set me up for a huge announcement that I was really looking forward to make. I think everybody has had access to this, although you might not know that it has been announced September 30th that Saturday Night Collision will be taking place at Seattle at Climate Pledge Arena. What has not been announced, and what I was really looking forward to talking about, and I'm so glad you set me up so I bring it up out of nowhere, it was October 1st last year that Mr. Antonio Inoki passed away. I don't believe I would be in this position had he not done so many of the great things he did. And I think New Japan Pro Wrestling carried the torch for strong style pro wrestling for the top junior heavyweight wrestlers, and so many of the top stars in AEW and ROH have wrestled in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and now New Japan Pro Wrestling is a great partner to us. And I was devastated last year when Mr. Inoki passed. I did not know Antonio Inoki at all, but I really looked up to him. He was a hero of mine. And I took note of it, and that date, October 1st, has stuck with me. We are coming up next weekend with All Out, and you asked me about doing more pay-per-view events, more big shows, and I can announce here for the first time that on October 1st at the Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, it will be the first ever Wrestle Dream 1 year anniversary of the passing of wrestling's greatest dreamer. And I thought it would be very fitting. And after All Out, you won't have to wait for Full Gear in November. Speaking of Full Gear, I guess I can confirm what I've seen in the media. I don't know how y'all found out, but people seem to find out. I can confirm that here Full Gear will take place November 18th, excuse me, because it's Saturday. Excuse me, that's right. Thank you. Saturday, November 18th, because the Jaguars are November 19th. That's right. So Saturday, November 18th, we'll go back to Saturday pay-per-views. Will be Sunday, October 1st. And Full Gear, we will continue the Saturday night tradition. Thank you, Raph. It'll be Saturday night, November 18th. We will be in Los Angeles at the Forum for Full Gear. And to go back to the Forum, where we've had some of the greatest nights in AEW. We've done 2 of our best episodes of Dynamite, I think, last year and this year at the Forum. And it'll be great to make our pay-per-view debut in one of the biggest markets for Full Gear. But like I said, you don't have to wait for Full Gear for us to return to pay-per-view after All Out. I'm very excited about Wrestle Dream. It's going to be a great show. there'll be a lot of people interested. What I have planned for Seattle, I have great plans for Seattle. October 1st, we'll be there again Saturday night, September 30th at the Climate Pledge Arena for Collision. That's been announced, and now I can officially announce to you, and I've been planning to announce to you, Wrestle Dream. It's something I'm very excited about, and I've wanted to do for a year now, and I think it's very fitting that we pay tribute to Mr. Inoki. I first saw the stars in New Japan Pro Wrestling when I was 7 years old, watching WCW. And now for us to be the home of pro wrestling on TBS and TNT, and also here on TV, which carried WCW at that time when a lot of the great stars in New Japan Pro Wrestling were in WCW. And I feel like when WCW went away, there were things that got lost. There were things that are missing from the wrestling business. And there's something we've been able to bring back, a competition, a balance. I don't know exactly how to put it, but there was something missing from the world of pro wrestling for the last 22 years. And I couldn't put my finger on it, but it is that spirit of competition. And today we've created real competition. Nobody can take this away from us. The numbers are real. We can verify them. I'll hold it up against any show in history. We had 81,035 paid tickets sold today, and I'll put it up against any crowd in the history of the business. And I think that's very cool. So we've hit new heights that even our predecessors in this legacy, because a lot of the things we've been fortunate to do, whether it's wrestling on TBS, TNT, ITV, these great channels, and being partners with New Japan Pro Wrestling, sending wrestlers to the Tokyo Dome, bringing in the top stars from New Japan, even some of the same people. I mean, we've had, Yuji Nagata on Dynamite competing for championships. It's pretty cool. And I thought it would be very fitting to go to Seattle for that show, October 1st. And I'm very excited to announce the first ever AEW Wrestle Dream in Seattle, October 1st. Thank you. What a great question.
Just following up on that, I had another question, but when you say Wrestle Dream and tribute to Inoki, does that mean? I mean, I'm taking that to mean you'll probably have a lot of New Japan people on the show.
I'm hopeful. I've talked to them about it, and I think they want to participate in the show and send people, and they're very supportive of it, and that I want to do something for him. And I think we have a great business relationship, so it would make sense. And I do think they are very supportive of the event, and I think everybody was happy that I would do something to pay tribute to his legacy here in America, because I think there's a lot of American wrestling fans who were introduced to top stars, a lot of Japanese stars, but even lucha stars and some of the top American stars that were established through Mr. Inoki's New Japan Pro Wrestling promotion. It's amazing how many of the biggest names today and of all time came through Mr. Inoki's New Japan Pro Wrestling, and New Japan Pro Wrestling is very supportive of the event, so I do expect them to participate in it, and we'll have our top stars involved too.
So just as far as tonight's show, what was the final gate, and have you gotten any kind of early figures on pay-per-view?
Pay-per-view is tremendous. It's going to be our biggest pay-per-view in well over a year, and one of our biggest of all time. It's up there with our biggest pay-per-views, and that's really exciting. And you don't always get a lot of second chances in life. And this is a true statement that I've said to a lot of people. And there are a few people around here. I feel like for the entire company, we were in such a hot place at one point. And I'll never forget, looking back, we had this great night at the Forum last summer. But by the time it was over, we were in a really challenging position. And I've talked to people about it a little bit, but like when that week started, we had Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, and Adam Cole all healthy, and MJF was an active part of the roster. And by the end of that week, 3 of those people were injured, and MJF walked out. And Adam Cole in particular, I was really worried about. And MJF walked off the show at the Forum, and it was a pretty crazy moment. And the summer was challenging, and tonight the show is as good as it ever has been. AEW was better than it's ever been, and it was our biggest night. You don't get a lot of second chances in life to get back when you get that hot, that red hot. and I always want one more shot. And I felt like tonight was our chance to get as hot as we've ever been, and I think we are. And for Adam Cole was red hot when he came in 2 years ago next week. And for a variety of reasons, it wasn't until this summer and everything that built into today, and Adam Cole, against anything everybody would have told you even just a few months ago, walked into the Wembley Stadium hotter than he's ever been. And a few months ago, several months ago, people didn't even know Adam Cole was ever going to wrestle again. And if you told somebody Adam Cole is going to walk into this show on August 27th hotter than he's ever been, that would be quite a fucking feat, ladies and gentlemen, because Adam Cole's been really fucking hot before. And he was completely out of the wrestling business, and he had to come in, start from scratch, and work his way back up to the top. And for Adam Cole to be as hot as he's ever been, that's pretty special. And then the Acclaimed have had the crowd behind them for a while, organic support. And I thought tonight could be their biggest moment. They're this great moment, the world's biggest scissor party. I was really excited for them. And for them, it was a second chance to get as hot as they've been and have as big a moment as they've had. And they've been incredibly hot. So in so many ways, for so many people, it felt like a second chance. And then for Saraya to come in here and think she's never going to wrestle again, and to think her biggest shows, her best days in wrestling are behind her. And she came into AEW, and I don't think she knew what to expect. And it's been quite a journey, and it's been quite a year, but for it to end up here, when she wasn't sure she was ever going to wrestle again, you don't get a lot of second chances like that in life. MJF walking out of the show, MJF putting me in a challenging position in public, and then to come back and to come back under scrutiny, to come back under challenging circumstances. Next week marks 1 year since he came back. And again, he's hotter than he's ever been. And that is a testament to him. It's a testament to Adam Cole, and it's a testament to everyone in AEW and the wrestling fans. But there are so many examples on this show where it's amazing. It's the redemption. There aren't a lot of second chances in life. And to have that many people have a shot at redemption and pull it off tonight, it was redemption for a bunch of us. And it's the greatest night of my life in the pro wrestling business. And I'm just really grateful to everybody who's made it possible. I know it seemed like a crazy idea when we announced this, and there were a lot of people questioning it, but it's been the best thing we've ever done, and I'm very excited about it. Hey.
Hi, Tony. What's the crack with you?
Hey.
Jay Hunter, OSW Review here. First of all, congratulations on all your success, not just tonight's incredible night, and just with AEW in general. Now, you have such an infectious enthusiasm for pro wrestling. Like, you go way back with the ECW arena and the Jericho signs and that. But I was just wondering, like, wrestling is full of like snake oil salesmen, brother. You know, how and you've done so well in pro wrestling. How do you protect yourself from pro wrestling?
I think by becoming a force in pro wrestling, and also I think I've made some moves from the beginning that helped us. Like, I had so many people when I announced my intentions to people in the business that I wanted to get into wrestling. Everybody was coming out of the woodwork trying to sell me their wrestling company. I didn't want to buy them. And I wanted to start something special with AEW. We changed the market. And in doing so, a wrestling company that had been in business for over 20 years in Ring of Honor had to reevaluate, and they were no longer able to stay in business the way things stood. And I was really proud that I was able to take a company that had a great history, that had at one point, I believe, been the #2 wrestling promotion in the world, but wasn't anymore, and bring it to special heights. And to have the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship tonight defended in front of the largest paid crowd in history. I don't think anybody would have expected that a few years ago. And to have the Ring of Honor World Champion competing on such a card, it's unthinkable. And there were a lot of companies that were in a very different place several years ago. I don't think New Japan Pro Wrestling was a big fan of AEW or mine personally when we launched this promotion, but I'm also an honest person and I tell it like it is, and they know that now, and that's part of how we built this great relationship. I think they watched what we did and built a reputation for and straightforwardness and good intentions. And after a couple years, really just a couple years, I think it made all the sense in the world for New Japan Pro Wrestling to reevaluate things and choose AEW as their new partner. And in that time, the landscape has changed very, very much. So I've just tried to navigate the business utilizing things I learned in sports, because connections I've made in the world of football, Premier League football with my friend over here, and the NFL, I've learned a lot about the sports business. Also, I own one of the largest sports analytics engineering companies and work with dozens of partners across multiple sports and media properties. So I've had a lot of experience in the sports business, and I love pro wrestling and studying the history of pro wrestling. And nobody gets it right all the time. I certainly don't get it right all the time. I've just tried to use my judgment, my understanding of wrestling history, and everything I've learned in sports. Thanks. Hey.
2 more questions for Tony. Go right here.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Tony, you announced Wrestle Dream and Full Gear. How does that affect the schedule for Collision? Are those preempted, rescheduled, moved to another night?
Well, Wrestle Dream is on a Sunday. There's Collision on
Okay.
Saturday night. And it actually, the Full Gear will be still on Saturday. We'll have Collision. I think we're planning to do Collision on Friday, actually, at the Forum is the plan, I believe. Yeah. And so that'll be a big Friday. So we've got 2 nights at the Forum, with Friday night and Saturday night coming up in November. And as for the Seattle Collision, that's already announced for Saturday, September 30th. And then Saturday, September 30th. And then just now I announced Sunday, October 1st, which coincidentally is the date the Jaguars are here. So I will not be.
Just in terms of next year's All-In show, I think fans would love to see Dynamite, Collision, Rampage, like just a week-long UK wrestling event. I don't know if that's in your sights immediately, but maybe down the line. And then if you had to pinpoint some international pay-per-view stadium shows, what countries would you like to target in 3 to 4 years' time?
It's a great question. I can't say as far as stadiums and other markets, because it's such a huge swing when you do it. And I'm not ready to make that aggressive of a leap yet, honestly, at promising another stadium show until we come back here 1 year from now, August 25th, for All In next summer, next bank holiday, August weekend here at Wembley Stadium. But that's a great question. And then what was the first part of your question? I think it's a great idea. I don't want to change what made this weekend so special, but I think it's a great idea. I didn't think it would be appropriate for this week because I really felt strongly that the debut of AEW in London, the debut of AEW in the UK, and the debut of AEW in Europe should be here tonight. This had to be the first show. A lot of people asked me about putting Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision in the UK or in Europe ahead of this event. Logistically, might have made sense in some ways, except for the fact that I believe a huge part of the milestone and the energy of tonight was that it was the first time ever. And that was pretty special. But there's only one first time. So admittedly, that wouldn't be as much of a concern next year. So I would consider it, but I can't commit to that yet. But it's certainly a good thought. And it wouldn't have the exact same obstacle I had this year. That's a great question. I will do one more and then I will go. Well, you got a pretty good one in now. So we'll get 2 more. I have to do somebody that didn't get one. But yeah, you had a very good question. What is it?
Thank you. Yeah, our listeners have been pestering me to ask this. So when can we expect doesn't have to be a big stadium show, but when can we expect AW in Germany or in mainland Europe? And also, can you talk a little bit about how happy you are with the ratings in Germany on DMAX, which is part of the WBD family, and maybe an update on if we can get Collision on in Germany on television as well?
Well, with Collision coming out, and really it was TNT that asked for Collision, and we delivered. And what it's done, it's created demand in many markets, over 100 markets, with AEW in over 150 countries now. There's tons of places that want Collision. And one thing that it's done, to answer your last question first, really streaming business internationally. AEW Plus has gone through the roof, and this is our biggest year yet. We've had huge growth, and I think a big part of it has been adding Collision in a number of countries. The ratings in Germany, very exciting. Discovery, very excited about that part of the business. And in our partnership with them, I think that's been a great step, having the TV there in Germany. And it is something we've talked about. Now, that is a great market. The NFL, as I've aforementioned, National Football League, and another place I work. By the way, that's a big deal that I'm not going to be. We've had about 200 games with the Jaguars since my family took over the team. This will only be out of 200. The fourth one I haven't been at, and all of them were because of either AEW or Fulham. And there was one where I had COVID, and several years ago. So it'll be. I always have a good reason if I'm not at a Jags game, and there's only been a couple times ever, and I've never missed one in Jacksonville ever, and hopefully never will. So for Germany, that's one of the best markets in all of sports. NFL is having huge success there right now, and we're very involved in the international committees on international presentations of the NFL. And obviously, the Jaguars play in Europe every year here at Wembley Stadium, and this year we're also playing an away match at Tottenham. NFL is having a big presence in Germany and a lot of success. We're finding it's a great market. It's also a great market for AEW and live event touring. I think that has a lot of potential, and we've had a lot of questions about great markets here for pro wrestling, including Mexico and Puerto Rico, Chile. I would add Germany to that list and say that it is definitely one of the best markets in the world to go to, in addition to some of the ones we've talked about here, that would make a lot of sense. Now, it is something to think about, because I do think there were a lot of German fans here. I've already talked to a lot of the German fans here, and fans from all over the world this week, from other countries. Our friend from Italy over here, and people all over came to see this show from all over Europe, over the world. So that is something to think about. But definitely Germany would be a great option. And then, was there anything else to that question? I think, did I get all three of your three parts? Good. Well, thank you. My pleasure. Great stuff. And I will do one more, and this is the last one, because the great PR team wants me to go so they can go to the after party.
Awesome. Lyric Swinton, Women's Wrestling Talk. Congratulations on an awesome show tonight. One of the things that was noticeable from the All-In card that was missing was there was only one women's match. Obviously, it was a callback to their original All-In. Yes. But there were some stars that were noticeably missing, like Athena, Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander. Can we expect more women's matches to be on the All Out card and on future pay-per-view cards going forward?
Well, we've announced Ruby versus Chris Statlander for the TBS Championship. We'll have to see what kind of condition Saraya is in coming out of this match. It's a great question. A lot of the card tonight was both featuring as many of the top stars in AEW as I could get. So a lot of the biggest stars in the company were not on this show, and that's why we have big matches like Powerhouse Hobbs and obviously Ruby Soho versus Chris Statlander next week. I think the pacing of the show tonight was probably the best we've ever had, the best show we've ever done. So to add more, I think, would have been challenging. But also, we have so many great stars across both the men's and women's division, great wrestlers. I think the card in many ways was, I tried to pace it perfectly, and I think we did pretty great. One thing I would note, and you said it yourself, a lot of the card was paying homage to the original All-In. The match, Dr. Britt Baker participated on the original All-In, and that was the key women's match on the original show. And Madison Rayne pointed that out in her commentary as well, that she was also in that original four-way, and Dr. Britt Baker participated. I had the Golden Elite in a trios match, kind of a callback to the original All-In, and definitely there were a lot of top stars, men and women, I was hoping to get on tonight's card. And there were a lot of people that wanted to be on the show, and I hope we can continue to get all the top stars. Also, I want to pace the shows and be able to have great matches without having to rush through. So I was really excited about the card and also very happy for Saraya. I thought it was a great moment. And I would love to try and get some of those top stars in All Out and also next year's All In. I think you mentioned some great names, and those would be great names for the show. So that's a great question. Thank you. Thank you. And I just wanted to close out. I've mentioned some of the statistics. But I can't stress it enough. This was the biggest paid attendance in the history of pro wrestling on the planet. All of you were a part of making that happen. And most of you are here as unbiased journalists, but I know all of you at some point have been a wrestling fan. And even though you're not here to give favoritism or coverage, I do hope you can all appreciate that all of you were a big part of history night and saw something really special and historic and noteworthy. So when you're covering this, I hope you can take a moment to sit back and reflect on the fact that pro wrestling is an art form that has been practiced for over 100 years all over this planet, and in recorded history, nobody can ever find an example of more people paying to come to a pro wrestling show than this one. That is an amazing achievement, especially for a company that is a startup company, a challenger brand. And I'm very proud of that, but I'm also really grateful. And I always say this, a lot of you have been to the scrums before, but I really appreciate all of you. And I know a lot of you traveled a long way to be here. I tried to answer as many questions as possible from everybody here. And man, what a night, what an honor to be a part of this. And I hope to see some of you next week at All Out. And if I don't see you next week at All Out, I certainly hope to see every single one of you next year right back here in the same room a year from now, August 25th at Wembley Stadium next year for All In. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks.
Wow, that was a pretty big post scrum. What'd you think of it? Mikel, you're muted. Well, when Mikel gets his situation done with his mic, he's still muted, dude. There you go. So what'd you think of the scrum?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Got to get out of your box. I have rough time, but damn.
You should tell it how it is. Tell them how you feel, Mikel.
Well, I thought it was good, but to drop me 8 p.m. now to be getting the bill wages.
Right. Well, like they said, you know, All Out is next weekend. So, I mean, of course, we're only going to give so much. Plus, we didn't even finish going over all who won yet. We only did, like, I think 3 or 4 matches. Well, you want to finish that up?
We gotta get to
Right. Are you watching? Are you going to be watching the football game tonight?
We gotta do
I know, but are you going to be watching the Saints and Texans game tonight on Fox?
maybe while real practice. I don't know you want go live for that or
No, we can't. We don't have to go live for that. I mean, I know you're busy. You gotta go pack and stuff later. I know that.
no, I got team.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. I didn't think. Wait. I didn't think you had teeth because after all the damage you did to him, you know.
No, you're enjoying it.
Oh, because I remember because you were telling me because you did crack and shit. So I thought, you know, because most crackheads I've seen, then they have no teeth. That's why I asked.
You're enjoying it. Oh, probably.
Oh, okay. Right. No, I got you. At least you're in a better, you know.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's go back to the card. Off that whole subject. Let's get back on schedule. So, hold on. I think the last one we left off on was, yeah, it was a Saraya winning the AEW World's Women's Championship from Sheeta.
I mean, that was a good match, but
Right.
why you put the title? I know it's a good moment.
Do you want to know why? The reason why, if you pay attention, her mom and dad and sister and brothers were there. So, and they're obviously in England, and she's English, so they figured, hey, why not put it is meaningless. Like, why would you put it on there just so she can lose the belt? Because I'm sorry, Saraya is not a champion material. What title did she ever hold in WWE?
Diva.
Okay, Divas. But let's be honest, she slept her way to the top in WWE. Let's be honest.
But they give me that we can go use the title. I don't want that.
She probably will, dude. Probably. I guarantee it'll probably be either not this weekend, this week coming up on Wednesday, probably next Saturday, next Sunday. Is it Saturday or Sunday is all out? Sunday, right?
I'd be gone.
Right. No, but I'm saying I think all out. Right, I know. I think all out is on Sunday, so she's probably gonna lose it at all out. Probably to either Tony Storm or if they or Sheeta probably or maybe Dr. Britt Baker. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't like that. I really don't because that makes the title
Worthless.
Like title, the title bit.
Right.
In 2000.
Yep. Okay, so
I like the good moment, but
right.
it didn't make sense.
Right. Okay, so the next match is Darby Allin and Sting versus Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage in a coffin match. Darby Allin and Sting win the coffin match. What did you think of that match, Mikel?
I can't replace the almost kill it.
I can say something though. I can say something that I liked about this match. They brought back Sting's music in 1999 from WCW, the Seek and Destroy theme. Yup, it was because that was fucking cool. I was like, hey, I haven't heard Seek and Destroy in a long time. especially with Sting coming out too. Because I mean, the last time you heard it was in WCW, like 99 2000.
AJ, I
What?
don't like seeing jumping off the ring because it's not that good. One bad move, it could be over.
Well, yes, things like what 60, like what 66, 67 years old. He's old, man. Like yeah, he's old. So I mean, and besides, didn't he injure himself? What fucking that buckle bump?
Yeah, where
Seth Rollins. That's what put him on the shelf.
And go to AEW.
Well, actually, Sting when his contract ran out of WWE, plus he was injured. So I mean, of course.
What I know,
Yeah.
he got one
Right.
clearly the
Right.
Every time he do move, I'm like, oh my god, like, be careful, but
Right.
But
No, I get you. Yeah.
Remember go in round this point on that. I doubt that.
Hey, I doubt it either. I mean, Sting, when Sting retires, you'll know he's not done just yet. I mean, he's doing it because he's back on TNT and TBS. I mean, that's where Sting started wrestling. I mean, that's where he ended his career for a while. Then went to TNA, and then went to WWE, and then now to AEW. So I mean, he's back back home where he belongs. You know what I mean?
Let me you think he will go back to the red?
No, me personally, I don't see. I think Sting, if he's done wrestling after, say, I don't know, maybe we'll say 2 years, right, give or take. I think Sting probably will retire probably in his 70s, because he's what, 68, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if he retires in 2 years, he'll be 70 years old. If he retires in AEW, I mean, that's whatever. I mean, everybody knows Sting. Everybody knows the story of Sting. I mean, he really doesn't have nothing to prove to nobody. He's just doing it right now to prop up Darby Allin, to make Darby a better wrestler. Showing him the rope. I mean, which is good. I mean, veterans should be doing that. Unlike some veterans that, like Hulk Hogan, that's like, oh, this doesn't work for me, brother. I'm not gonna put you over. That's fucking stupid, man. Okay, so what'd you think of the match? I thought it was pretty good.
I like the King of Death drop on the car and that cool. And Darby did a car and drop in the car. And
right. Okay, so okay, that's fair enough. So okay, we got 3 more matches left on the card. Let's run through these real quick. So, because I know you're probably hungry, and you probably got to get out of here.
I gotta go to my football thing
Right.
too.
Right. So let's run through this.
Joey, AJ,
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah. I'll be on there. Yeah. But let's
I
finish this up real
want
quick.
him about broadcasting it, but I don't know how you'll feel about that.
I mean, it's whatever, dude. I mean, you could do that. I can just pick players or whatever. It really doesn't matter to me. Let's see here. We got Will Ospreay defeating Chris Jericho. The big swerve is that, the whole breakup. I mean, even though Sammy Guevara's already not with Chris Jericho anymore, but it more intense. I think there's gonna be a rivalry with those two soon. I honestly think
Yeah.
that you're gonna see Jericho versus Guevara very soon.
I can't
Will
wait.
Ospreay wins this
I
match,
can't wait.
right? Let's see here. Billy Gunn returns to the ring tonight with the Acclaimed and defeats the House of Black in a house rules match, no holds barred for the AEW Trios tag team match. So now your winners are Billy Gunn and the Acclaim. They have the AEW Trios titles now. And then, what's up? Did you see when they came out that they came out? No. Why what?
Did brought the title? I mean, they've been doing good with the title.
Well, yeah, I know that.
So
But did you see when the
why?
House of Black came out? Did you see when they came out?
Yeah.
They had Bray Wyatt's lantern.
Yeah, that helped me.
And then they had the fireflies. That was pretty cool. I have to admit, hats off to AEW for doing that. Shockingly, nobody did a tribute for Terry Funk. Actually, you know what's crazy is I take that back. No, I'll hold on, Mikel. I was gonna say something. Technically, NWA last night. Did you watch NWA last night? They did a tribute for Terry Funk.
Yeah, I know we both watched.
Well, before they cut us off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty cool when Homicide paid tribute to Terry Funk last night. I did watch LAX back in the TNA days. You know what? Homicide, for doing what you did, dude, that was pretty cool. I mean, he even had the Terry Funk get up. That was really cool.
I didn't know he was in a
NWA? Oh yeah. Terry Funk won the World's Heavyweight Championship.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
He
Believe
was
this. Okay,
in
listen to
the
this, Mikel.
know.
Right, Mikel, listen to this. Okay, so before the pandemic, the NWA was really fucking hot because you had to think about it. You had Nick Aldis as your world's heavyweight champion. You had, you had Kingston. Eddie Kingston, he was there. Thunder Rosa was there. Ricky Starks was there. Scott Steiner before the heart attack. Dude, there was a lot of people that were on AEW that were at fucking it was in NWA.
Yeah.
Yep. So obviously the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn won the trios titles. Now our main event.
I don't get that.
What? I don't either.
We don't.
Yeah, because didn't Billy Gunn quit end wrestling?
Yeah, how about been doing their bad work that they got no title. AJ?
Hold on just a second, bud.
We got early. Well, boy, AJ, we want sign up for my football.
Okay, my bad. Okay, so the main event obviously is Adam Cole versus MJF for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship.
Real. The match was the best match of the night.
Right.
Great storytelling by MJF.
It was a pretty good match, actually. Solid, you know. What'd you think about MJF's entrance as the devil with the chicks bowing down to him? He was carried out. What'd you think of it?
Well, AJ, you know the story, right?
Right.
MJF could not keep the win.
Right.
So Barry, I mean, then you got Robert Flaw and the King out there.
Yeah.
Great storytelling.
So let me ask you this, Mikel. Are you a big MJF fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So okay.
He just on the mind. He
Okay.
good in the ring. He a great storytelling.
Now, if say MJF was watching this live stream, which he's not, but if he was, if you had something to say to him, what would you say on camera? Like, look at the camera and say something to him that.
He won my favorite. He can be a big star. A big star for a
Do you think
long
WWE
time.
dropped the ball with
And,
him?
well, I do.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I do.
I mean, think about it.
But,
He was in development, and then he was a security guard. Then they
yeah,
shit canned him.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Final thoughts of
I
this
mean,
pay-per-view.
I give it a 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Really
I give it
enjoy.
a 7 out of 10, my opinion. It was good.
But what you think will get in a rematch all out with MJF and Cole?
I don't think so. That rematch was tonight. Remember, because they had the first match at on Dynamite. This was the
Yeah,
rematch.
but Uta and JX, Uta, who is gonna be in the main event?
Oh, the main event. Oh God, I don't know because they haven't even. Who do I think?
Here we go, MJF against CM Punk, Triumph.
So what? What you're saying is they're gonna have what, a third or fourth match with MJF and CM Punk?
Yeah, because they got
But do people want to
two
see that
damn
though? That's the real
belts.
question. But do people? But they already did that. They already found out who's the real world's. Oh wait, no, you're right. You're right. My bad. There
Yeah.
is. Yeah. Yep. Oh well. I mean, you kind of make a point. You make sense there, Mikel. I mean, let's be honest. You're right there.
We wait till Brett full kill.
I think it's too early. Maybe. I mean, like I said, maybe because literally all out's next Sunday. So in reality, if they're gonna do anything like that, I would wait until like what is it? What's the next pay per view that they have?
Full kill.
Okay, so maybe then I don't know. Okay, so maybe or maybe like Double or Nothing do that. It's too early to do the champion versus champion to see who's the real AEW champion. I mean, it's too early.
If we put belt down, AJ, I mean, two main belts right now.
Yeah, I never
just
understood
don't
that.
like that.
Right, I never understood it either. I'm like, why? I don't know.
I don't like that. They'll find the WWE. They'll
Right?
trying to be like WWE. And
Dude, I don't
it
understand half of modern
won't
wrestling
work.
nowadays. Right. Like why does WWE have fucking what 4 belts for 2 champions? And why does AW have 2 champions when there's only supposed to be 1? Because that's it. Because they're not that big of a company yet. That's why I don't get. It doesn't make sense. And I wish they would just have 1 belt for each company and call it how it is. Because think about it. Back in the day, WWF, they had 1 title. WCW had 1 title. ECW had 1 title. That was it. For your world's champion. Hell, NWA, after they came back with TNA, they had 1 title, and that was it. I don't know.
got one. I mean, Impact got
Yeah, Impact
one.
had 1 title. Right. So, I mean, I don't know, man.
Don't make sense.
No, it doesn't. But I mean, like again, I don't
will.
understand modern wrestling.
And
I mean, hell, I don't even.
We got a Wandy in the chat.
A Wandy's in the chat. Oh, that's a Wandy? Oh, okay. What's up, man?
A Wandy right now.
Oh. What, so Jeffy?
Yeah.
That's a Wandy?
Jeffy. No, a Wandy right now.
Oh, a Nani. That's a Nani. Not a Wandy. That's a Nani. You fucking mongoloid. The only girl that's watching our channel and you fuck her name up. Sorry, Nani.
Sorry, Nani.
You fucked up, Mikel. Now you chased away the only girl we have watching us.
I think you guys for joining us. Maybe AJ and Katie do next week. We got Happy down Utah. I probably won't get to watch all well.
I ain't watching All Out unless it's illegal stream. Because I ain't paying for money like that. I got bills to pay and a fucking new house to pay on. I ain't got money to be spending on pay-per-views.
I see Saraya will take a pet of team of hell.
Right.
I don't want.
I think this was a
Yeah.
good stream, man. We almost went for almost 3 hours. I mean, yeah, it was like an hour and a
Yeah.
half of it, the scrum, yeah, but we still went over the matches, the results, and we heard the post media scrum, and I thought it was pretty good. Even though I think Tony Khan, when he comes out on stage, needs to be
Yeah.
more. He needs to stop doing coke before he goes on stage. Like literally, I noticed if you paid attention to him, his eyes are really coked out because there's certain eyes. You've done coke. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking.
I
He
know.
needs to
I know.
Yeah, he needs to stay off that shit when he's going into public because it's not a good look for yourself. But no, I thought it was good. I mean, the
So,
pay per view, like I said, was good.
one
You're gonna say
more
something?
time, I'm gonna tell you guys the football league is in. Oh, we got 10 minutes, AJ.
You have 10 minutes until the NWA 75 Night 2 will be on, and the Saints versus the Houston Texans. Well, yeah, that, but I mean, I won't be on the stream for the next one. I won't be on for the football stream. Because,
I'm not gonna
sir, you staying live? So you're staying live?
I can.
Okay. Do you want me to make you a new thumbnail and I can send it to you? Like,
No,
turn this one off or just go with it? Okay. So you're going to be staying on for what? Probably an hour or two more? I might hop on and see what's up with you while you're still live later.
I'm really want to go again and
Okay.
do it. Oh, hell, because I got eat. I'm tired. But
Right.
you can stay on the call while we get a team, but you gotta go join
Yeah, I
right
got shit.
now,
I will.
AJ.
I will. That's what I'm getting off here and going to do.
Okay.
I'll watch like everybody else and I'll watch you do what you're doing, okay? I'll be in there, alright?
Okay.
Alright, buddy. Thanks for
No
having me come
one
on, man. I'm
else
glad that we got to do
join.
this.
Yeah, and we won't be on Sunday.
Yeah, next week we won't be live at all.
Town.
Yep, Mikel will be out of town. Yep. But I appreciate everybody watching. Thanks, Mikel, for having me on. And I will see you when you come back from your vacation. Have a good one, man.
Well, I'm going to Monday night Raw review.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll do the Raw review with you. So, anybody that's watching now after this, Mikel's going to be doing his fantasy football league. So, anybody wants to get in his football league, the link's down below. And I'm going to go sign up right now so we can play that, and I'll see you later, okay, Mikel?
Okay.
All right, buddy. I'll see you later. Have a good one.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm just gonna
Bye.
go, guys. Bye. So, I'll see you guys and me all in, and I gotta go, guys. And then don't want to be I what we fit our team began. I'm tired. I'm still gonna clean my house and get comfortable with it. So I will be on them online and go home show for all in the not go home show the full timeline was all out and at kickoff. Yo guys, I'll see you over in my football league and sign up because we got 5 of it. I can remember so let me get back. I work on golf. I'm gonna let you guys. I don't mind football. I'm gonna go to and help out. I'm wanting to what? And I got to go. What the fuck, me? Probably like me and AJ will be playing. So AJ, Oreo, and now, well, to me in the window of someone. AJ, about dying. AJ, well, are you? He built on the house on me. Then we got AJ. AJ, well, love you. Don't put Johnny over AJ get in. AJ, well, I'll go. it is simply called a tree. A morning yoga story, a walk, check a J don't get in time. A walk. Get your email. And don't take it off. You're joining or not? Please don't say. Why your team name? I don't see it. Let me replay. Maybe that. Oh yeah, I see y'all. You're the we are the only two cars. I gave you guys time, but yeah, you're up, but no one else. It can be me and you. It just pop on the your I'll go to the fair. I'll do a talk the bar. I did. I'm fine. Okay. How do I solve it? It just bear with me, guys. Oh, more. No. Bear with me, guys. say, and it's not yet in me talk it. I what the oh shit. Hang on, guys. Why you online? I don't get this. Um,
You should like phone a friend or call a friend. I don't somebody that knows this. I don't.
called cat, maybe. He was in the chat earlier.
Says she is joining a chat. Fantasy chat going on in there.
I know that, but in my head, me. Okay, I think. There is
Yeah.
They might first time learning one. So we learn together.
Is yours offline or is it an online draft?
I can move into online, but overall, I'm fine. Every time I change things, it blocks my password. Until I got it now, I think, hold on, guys. Hold on.
There's fantasy hockey too.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying, guys. Oh, I know this is my first time playing with on my own league, so um, so my what?
Your snake draft is not yet scheduled.
Come on, guys. I'm trying. I don't want outfit. No. Oh, and down. And do it the day I well, I'm gonna be so busy tomorrow. So I'm probably in phone 6:15. Yeah, I don't know why he's not. It's changed now. I want to put into this. Um, 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 I did this. This is pissing me off. Yeah, see, it did work. Ah, my one, the the fucking peace. I get in February is a good time.
Since you're selling and this stuff that's scheduled to. Sure you set it up properly.
Yeah, I did. Um,
Probably.
fine, okay. Of that way. We need one more plus. We need one more guy. I get a week.
Send your link out again, maybe if people are like, people on Twitter, see if they want to be in it.
Um,
Let me know when you're ready, when it's ready to draft again. It says 8:30 on my end.
not my end too, so.
Just hit me up in a little bit. So we're gonna start and go from there, right?
Okay, stay on them that way. It does what we're ready to go. I'm be on you too.
See you in a little bit now.
Okay. Try to it cat up. What? In the bar. I want my name. Okay.
Make sure that the 8:30 so I don't catch there.
And get what? Yeah. And said that. that okay, I'm fucking stupid. It won't let me go wrong. Hold on, guys. I'm not getting why they're not working. So I'm messing. See, yeah, it won't let me. It's not clean. It won't get me get rubber. But I don't want all of that. Video. I just read the book. Okay, that's what we need. That's what we need. Okay, that's what we need. Again, they moment me fucking do it. I don't know, guys. Yeah, mom, goddamn. They live Sunday. Yeah, same. Say that. See. Bit Bob Jack. Oh God, save me. Bob. Okay. Oh man. Yeah. I think I got it. I got it. Then my oh I know. I think that no what the goddamn oh fuck. I'm doing wrong. And three. Gotcha. Why you won't let me do that? I keep doing that. Hey, I'll probably go. It is on my side, the cat of my team. And I just did I don't know why everyone did that, but I'm not done talking and done. We get right there. Oh, God. They got me kept on myself every time I come and be again. I don't know. Okay. You got no. Let me know. I am doing wrong. Good job. Oh no, I'm trying, guys. And then I'll run now. No, I can clean up the robot. Yeah, angry. Yeah, you can't. You didn't know. I don't know why you what yeah he mean did it. I'm being I'm gonna try to that and see him remember that mean did it. Try again. the market is like maybe that one. Is it not and then did that before now go. Ah! I'm done. Obrigado. Então, vai bom me oh. God. Oh, God. I think I got camera here and now. Yeah. I think what's up? It may be right. And okay, so I got live the right so they were then what I'm going to do is come down to undoubtedly I did not know that some reason to say holy okay. And then the again my email probably I'm just in the job. It did work and then I'd be back on probably take time and work. And not man on the take part it and wait till next year we go. I don't have time to favorite video because I see okay, well, my oh, okay. Um, 12, 9, 9, 12, 6, oh, what? Read the name, God damn. Women podcast. Um, we in the right one. Nine, 1, 3, 8, 3, 5, 4. And I'm good. So now I'm good. It will what now? Cook. Not pot with I don't know why he want more. Um, I don't know. It won't me what the they want. Oh, God damn. And they camera with from man. In the yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I saw Stampede, but this is not what I planned. God damn. Oh my God, team. When fans came to be not showing my what now make what the fuck? Really? Okay. So it at 8. One. Okay, you guys, so it will be back up and go right now. Same Bob John in me and I see you in about an hour. See you guys. Bye. See you. Hey, you did your finger. It was real good tonight. And I see you from my football team, right, always is alright. Oh, yeah. It's alright. So, see you guys. And and feedback. But so we currently a CEO guide in about an hour. I know, I mean, CEO guide and job, CEO guide, yeah. Still time from your guys to join it at 8 o'clock. Hopefully we go the I see you guys later. Bye.